WNKX, your home for Hickman County sports. We are live here in Camden as your Hickman County Bulldogs are on the road to take on the Lions. Now, Cam, Hickman County is coming off of a huge win on Saturday against their district opponent, the Harpeth Indians. And of course, our first game here tonight will be the Lady Dogs up against the Lady Lions of Camden. And Cam, Hickman County needs to keep this momentum going. They did struggle on the road last week against Cheatham County, but they have a chance to redeem themselves on the road here tonight against a game opponent. Camden enters in tonight 8-10, 1-2 in the district. Now Hickman County enters in 13-9, 1-2 in the district. Of course, these two teams in separate districts, but they've had similar results in their respective districts. So Cam, what is Hickman County, what do the Lady Dogs need to carry over from Saturday into tonight?
Well, Josh, I think a big key factor is that the energy supplier, the energy giver in this team, Haley Gordon, is not going to be out there tonight. They're going to have to replicate what they did on Saturday. That is, everyone else has to bring energy to the floor and do all the little effort stuff. Tinley Davis needs to step up again tonight, have a similar performance to what she did the other night in the place where Haley was not in the lineup. Carly Everett continues to need to step up into that role. Both of those players I just mentioned were our players of the game Saturday, and they are also going to be super important in this game as well.
Absolutely, Cam. When we look back to the game on Saturday against Harpeth, Hickman County handled business by 20 points in the 54-34 final. It was spearheaded by Ava Floyd, who dropped 26 points on the game, a stellar performance from Miss Floyd. And what we noticed from Ava on Saturday is that she was red hot from beyond the three-point line. And Cam, that is an area where she's struggled in this second half of the season. So maybe she's finally found her groove from beyond the perimeter. And Cam, if she does find that shot, she'll be a tough one to guard, because when she drives, she's impossible to stop. But when she's shooting from deep, she also seems impossible to stop. So having that diversity from Floyd in this lineup will be critical. But Cam, what we also saw on Saturday, we saw that young lady, number 21, Nola Bentley, shooting very well. She made a couple of threes on the game, and Cam, if she's on, that's one player the other team will have to sell out to guard. They won't be able to give up anything deep. And then you have your bigger players like Chilton and King able to crash in underneath, free buckets every time.
Yeah, Josh, I think stretching the floor tonight is going to be huge. This Camden team is not a small team by any means. They look like a team that's going to slow it down in the half court. Probably not as athletic at getting up and down the floor as our girls. So spreading the floor out, making the defense widen out to create those driving lanes and create opportunities in the lane. Obviously, if Ava has it going on from deep, that makes her a three-level scorer, right? At any time, she reminds me, Elisha and her are similar in the fact that they aim to get to the goal. If they don't get that, they'll take a mid-range shot, and they're really good at those two things. But when they can get that third level, when they can get it going from deep, how do you stop them? You don't. You can only hope to contain them. And so I want to see tonight, hopefully Ava can get out to shooting it from deep really well. If she can't get out shooting it from deep, Nola Kate Bentley, the Carly Everett, Zoe Chilton, the girls who can step out from beyond the arc and knock it down, they need to come up big tonight. A name you haven't mentioned yet, we think of her as a defensive player, Chloe Warren. We've seen her get more aggressive with the shot taking as of late. I want to see her to continue to get aggressive with the shot taking. If you take the shot, you will get where you are making the shot, right? Shot takers become shot makers. And I think that's where we need to see Chloe evolutionize her game.
And Cam, Chloe brings so much to this team. There's very few games we've seen this season where she hasn't been the most athletic player on the floor. Cam, we've talked so much about her ability to drive into the basket, but Cam, Chloe is a very selfless player. She likes dishing it out, creating space, and letting her other players shine in the score column. But as you mentioned, Cam, if we see her be more aggressive in her shot taking, she can definitely take over a basketball game.
Yeah, Josh, if you look at a lot of players over the history of basketball, I'm going to talk NBA for a second to give you some ideas. You're talking Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, Rajon Rondo, players that like to facilitate. But where did they always end up in the scoring category, not at 0. Right? To be an effective passer, you also have to be somewhat of an effective scorer. And so for Chloe to be the most effective she can, she has to be a threat to score the ball. And so I do like, it seems like she is more confident in that shot. It seems like she is getting more confident in her drives. She just has to continue it.
Yeah, for sure, Cam. And ladies and gentlemen, all of you watching or listening here tonight, we appreciate your support of the station. We will be audio only going forward for tonight due to regulations, but we appreciate you tuning in all the same. But this broadcast would not be possible without the sponsors that you see on your screen: Ascension St. Thomas, MLEC, Advocate Auto Body, Pizza Hut, Liberty Pharmacy, and the McDonald Funeral Home. We're so thankful of their continued support of this station, and we're so thankful for the work that they do in the Hickman County community. And we are just under 4 minutes away from game time, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a reminder, we are at Camden Central High School tonight. Now, Cam, not a short drive at all by any means, a little over an hour to get here tonight. So how do you think these road trips can wear on a player? From your time as an athlete, do those long road trips have an effect at all?
Only if you allow it to. I think a big thing comes from, you have a long trip. What do you do on the trip? What do you do when you get to the gym? What are you doing to prepare yourself as you take the hour-long trip? What are you doing once you get to the locker room and you have to be here for 45 minutes when the JV boys are playing? Like, going into tonight, it's about being extra precise in your preparation for the basketball game, right? And mentally, being where you need to be is very important. But at the same time, at this point in the season, they have played a lot of games, right, Josh? If you cannot pick up where you were, if you cannot continue with what you were doing as a basketball player, and if it takes you 2 minutes in the first quarter to get there, so be it. But you should be such in a groove right now. You should have so much comfortability in the way that you're approaching these games that there shouldn't be too much of a difference in your game, right? You should be comfortable with who you are as a player, you're playing as a player, and being able to do what you can. And so I see that and say, if you're coming into this game so thrown off by a road trip, you're not in a good place mentally anyway.
Cam, and we talked about on Saturday the amount of road games the Hickman County Dogs have in the latter half of the season. And I think that snow that happened a few weeks ago that canceled the Harpeth game at home was almost a blessing in disguise, because it gave us a bit of a reprieve, right? That game that took place on Saturday was in the midst of a 5-game straight road trip. Now, I think what the Hickman County Dogs have the benefit of is that road trip streak, right? Last week, went to Cheatham County. It's no further or closer than Camden is, right? So I think these Dogs, they're prepared for this. They have played enough road games on the year where they should be locked in, ready to go and play some basketball here as we wait just over a minute away from tip-off. Now, Cam, as I look through this Camden Central High School Lady Lions roster here, they're very similar to us as far as age and experience. They have 3 seniors on the team, the same as we do. But Cam, they're a very junior-dominated team, which if you're a school, that's a pretty good place to be in.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. Old enough to have experience, young enough to keep going.
Absolutely, Cam. So I think it's going to be a battle here tonight for the Hickman County Lady Dogs, one we hope they can pull out. But, folks, the anthem is about to take place. We'll be back in just a few moments. Tip-off here in a moment. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, following the playing of the national anthem. And Cam, props to the Camden band. That was a wonderful rendition of the national anthem.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. I think we've been blessed with a number of really good performances, whether that's singing or the band, throughout the year, and multiple places we've gone for the national anthem. It's been cool to see.
So, Cam, I think what's interesting about this game, as well as they're introducing the starting lineups, is that Hickman County has not seen Camden this year, right? Of course, you can study film, you can listen to rumors, hearsay, and the like, but you can never truly know what an opponent's bringing to the table until you're on the floor with them. So I'm very excited to see the feeling out process early on in this game.
Yeah, Josh, and you hope it's a quick one going in. It's kind of like I mentioned earlier, it's your preparation now instead of preparation for the other team. You've played so many games now, you should be in a good place where at the start of any game, you could come out and match an opponent, right? It's what's interesting is after the first quarter what adjustments are made, right? When you've played this many games, you're this far into the season, it's less about the first quarter and what you did and more about the preparation and the adjustments that you make for later on in the game. Now, obviously you can't let the game get out of hand in the first few minutes, but if you take care of what you can take care of in the first quarter, the game can fill out itself.
Absolutely, Cam. And something that we've noticed about these Hickman County Lady Dogs, it seems like they, more often than not, have at least one quarter where they sort of lull out. Now, what do you think they need to do to prevent having one of those lull quarters and to play a complete game of basketball here tonight?
A constant aggressiveness on offense. I think sometimes when they get a lead, they can get a little trigger happy with not the best shots. So a prioritization from tip to the horn of good shots, efficient shots, and to not let off the gas.
So here we are underway. Tip-off is won by the Lady Lions, and we are underway. That's Wallace at the right wing, met by Warren. Now swings it back up top, pass into the paint, knocked away by Chilton, ball's loose on the floor, and it's taken away by the Dogs. That's Ava Floyd down the right side. At the wing, met quickly by Wallace. Gives over, and it's taken away. Very errant pass there. Turnover forced by the Lady Lions here early. Ball's up top. It's given back to Wallace. Wallace pulls up from deep, knocks down the three. So Camden strikes first as they lead 3-0 within the first minute of play. Warren, pass midcourt, gives. Floyd drives, jump stop, puts it up mid-range, well short. Picked up by the Lady Lions.
And Josh, you saw Camden come out there in what I believe is a 2-2-1 press. It wasn't very tough. If the Bulldogs can keep the ball towards the middle of the press, they should get it over easy.
Driving in is Camden. That's Pierce who dishes it to the corner. The three is no good, but it's rebounded by Barry. Barry gives the paint back to Pierce. Now kicks it back out to Hartney. At the right wing, they have to reset. Addie Jo Melton sets a screen and gets the pass in the paint, drives it on King. Shot no good, well defended by Delaney. Now Floyd, left side of the floor, driving fast. Gives it, Bentley from deep. Just off and kicks off the backboard, and it's picked up by Camden.
Now Josh, this Lady Dogs offense has been super fast paced, but I really like that because they are faster than Camden. The best way to score buckets against a team that's bigger but slower is to push in transition. So I like what I'm seeing right now.
The ball knocked away from Wallace by Warren, but they do recover it, do the Lady Lions. Ball at the left wing, guarded by Floyd, step back, gives it up top to Melton. Melton feeds, that's Pierce driving in, kicks it to the corner. And another bounce pass. And Pierce loses it, and it's knocked out by Bentley. So Cam, some nice interior defense played there by Nola Kate.
Yeah, Josh. Now, something that it's not typical for these Lady Dogs to do is they're switching on all the screens. They're in man-to-man defense right now, and they're switching on everything. It's kind of a little odd, but big block there by Chilton.
It's picked up by King, who feeds to Floyd, and Floyd slows it down, wants a more methodical pace on the floor, and gives it to Chilton up top. Your score 3-0 here early. Lions lead. Warren gives to Chilton. Now corner. Floyd in the corner. Knocks down the three.
Now,
and we
Josh,
are tied.
Camden is in a very unique, as Hickman County has now come out in a man-to-man full-court press. Camden's in a very unique 2-3 where it's they almost stay in the press where it's a 2-2-1.
An open look in the corner for three, short, picked up by King. Now the Lady Dogs back in business. Floyd up the right side of the floor. Up top, it's Chilton. Now to Bentley at the right wing. Tough pass in the paint to Warren, who gives back out to Bentley. Pass is tipped away, but Chilton corrals it. A lot of quick passes here by the Lady Dogs. Bentley pump fakes a pass and gives it. Warren out of Chilton. Some nice defense played here by the Lady Lions. Bounce pass, mid-range. Floyd got the bounce.
Yeah, and a great pass there by Chilton to get it to Floyd on the baseline. Great job by Ava taking the time to make the shot.
So a couple of Floyd buckets here early puts the Lady Dogs in front 5-3 with almost 4 minutes to play in the first period. Now at the right wing, guarded by Warren. Pass. Melton in the paint, driving on King. Puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Floyd. So some nice defense being played here in the paint by the Lady Dogs. Chilton up top, feeds to Bentley at the wing. Tough pass to Warren. To Floyd. Dribbles in. Goes across the way. Chilton pulls up from three. No good. A high bounce off the rim. Rebounded by Camden.
Yeah, and that was just really good offense there, Josh, as Camden turns it over. Delaney King with a steal.
That was a deep, errant pass there by Camden. Hickman takes advantage. Chilton drives. Met in the paint, spin move off the glass. Can't get it to fall, but a nice move by Chilton. And Camden on the drive. Left side of the floor, it's Pierce at the left wing, met by Bentley. And she has to dish back up top to Wallace. Wallace with a drive on Warren near the baseline, tries to bounce pass it. Nothing there, knocked out of bounds by Hickman County, and substitutions now coming in for both teams. Bentley subbing out, Carly Everett subbing in.
So Josh, I figured out why Hickman County's switching. So Camden runs two bigs at all times, and when we switch, we're leaving Delaney King or Zoe Chilton deep in the paint, almost underneath the basket, to pick up the big that's rolling, and they're helping on the backside. So good plan there by Coach Gordon. The first few just didn't turn out right.
And Barry drives in, shot is no good, rebounded by Warren. Chloe on the drive, right side of the floor, gives to Everett. Hesitates, pulls up from deep, no good. King can't secure the rebound. It's picked up by Miley Hartney of the Lady Lions. Camden on the drive, and they'll set up now and run their offense. It should be noted that Addie Jo Melton subbed out for Carson Douglas for Camden. Driving in, that's Pierce, kicks it back out to Wallace. Wallace pulls up a deep three, knocks it down in the face of Chloe Warren, an impressive shot, and that puts Camden out in front 6-5 with around 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. But Hickman down the floor in a hurry. It's Floyd. Steps through, puts it up, gets the roll. So the Camden lead short-lived as Ava Floyd puts up her 7th point of the game as Hickman County has 7 to Camden 6.
Now, Josh, this number 3, Wallace from Camden, you got to guard her at almost 25 feet out. She has got a strap on her.
Step back, that's Wallace again from deep. This time doesn't fall, and Chilton gets the rebound. So Cam, Abby Grace Wallace definitely not afraid to take any shots. She is one of the juniors we mentioned, this deep junior team. And Everett pump fakes, dribbles in, left-handed, gives it back up top to Chilton. Now under 90 seconds to play in this first quarter. Tough bounce pass. Warren tried to find King, nothing there. And the ball is loose on the floor, picked up by Hartney of Camden, but the ball is now loose again on the floor. And it's corralled finally by Abby Grace Wallace of Camden. Bounce pass in. That's Douglas, guarded by a couple of Lady Dogs. Has to kick it out. Pierce from 3, no good. And Pierce hustles to get her own rebound.
And Josh, if you're a fan of like 80s, 90s basketball, you would love to watch this Camden's girls team. It is a two-post, a lot of pick and roll.
And Barry drives in, loses handle of it, and Chilton keeps it in. A very acrobatic play as she gets it to Floyd. down the floor. Everett, wide open three, takes her time to set it up. Doesn't get the bounce, no good. Rebounded by Pierce of the Lady Lions. We have 30 seconds left to play in this first quarter. Dogs lead by 1, 7-6.
And if I'm Coach Gordon, I know that they haven't made many shots from deep. But I'm telling them, keep letting them fly because the defense is going to keep spreading out. And then we're going to get driving lanes in this zone because it's playing way too far up.
And nice bounce pass there by the Lady Lions, but the shot can't be capped off by Douglas. With 3 seconds left, Floyd pulls up from deep. As the quarter ends, Floyd buries it, nothing but net. And Hickman will widen the lead at the end of the first. 10-6, Lady Dogs lead in Cam. What a shot.
Yeah, that's a huge one there from Ava. The confidence, stepping right into it. I mean, classic Ava, right?
And Cam, it sounded like Camden's band was playing a rendition of Rocky Top almost.
I would hate that. I'm glad I wasn't listening.
So a break here in Cam. Hickman County started off the first quarter a little bit slow, couldn't get the offense going, but they've really turned it around. Now you look at the score sheet, and Ava Floyd has scored all the points so far, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been a lot of teammates giving her those opportunities.
Right, Josh. There's been a couple assists off the passes to Ava, but, you know, there has been really good quality shots. There's a three-point attempt by Zoe Chilton. There was a couple of three-point attempts from Carly Everett. The aggressiveness, a couple of attempts from Nola Kate Bentley. So it has nothing to do with the fact that she has all the points because she took all the shots. She definitely hasn't taken all the shots. She's just been the only one that they've fallen. If I'm the rest of the team, I'm letting it fly.
And Hickman, after that big three-pointer by Floyd, will get the ball to start the second quarter. King dribbles in, met by Douglas, looking for help. Hands, Chilton drives off the glass, gets it to go.
And a really tough move right there by Chilton. Little side step as she dribbles up away from the defender. Great move.
So Hickman now leads by 6. Floyd tries to force the turnover but can't. Pierce corrals it at the left wing, met by Everett. Has to pass back up top to Wallace, who feeds to Melton, who's back in the game. Douglas sets a screen. Pierce tries to dribble in, nothing there, and has to give it back up top again to Wallace, who swings it across the floor. Now back underneath, Douglas puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Everett. The Lady Dogs on a quick drive. Everett not slowing the pace a bit. Now hands off to Chilton, back to Everett. Nice bounce pass to Floyd, who goes up, can't get it to go. And Floyd gets the rebound over the head of Melton. Floyd looking for help, guarded by Hartney, and she'll give it back up to Chilton. Now Everett. Tough pass to Bentley at the free throw stripe, floats it to the corner. It's Floyd. Step back, three. Another! Ava Floyd is on fire, and a timeout is called by Camden and Cam.
I mean, a bank shot there from Ava from deep. What an insane take. Not an insane take, but an insane shot to go in. The Lady Dogs are doing a really good job of finding weak spots in this zone. So, to paint the picture, I would say it's a 2-3 zone. That's the idea. That's what it's based in, right? This Camden defense, very unique. But you pretty much have two defenders at the normal spots for guards in a 2-3 zone, and then you have like two wing defenders. Like, we're talking the girls that are typically on the block are all the way up on the wing right now, like volleyball line type. So it's very unique. But the big, as Camden just broke down the whole Hickman County press and left a wide open layup there.
So Camden still trails, but they cut into it. 14-8 your score. Lady Dogs lead, and Everett tried to drive in, and she's fouled. 6:23 to go in the second quarter. And it will be Floyd inbounding on the baseline. Finds King in the left corner. Swings it to Everett at the wing. Back to Floyd. Floyd dribbles in, double teamed, and gives it back out to Everett. Everett to King in the corner. Now to Floyd. Another three attempt. This one won't go. But a nice save by Chilton. Floyd again up top, dribbles in. Wants to drive herself, and she's not fouled. A jump ball is forced. So Camden takes over, and even though that didn't result in points, a great piece of teamwork there by Bentley and Chilton to save that ball heading out of bounds. So Camden up the floor, met by the Hickman County press, and Chilton takes it away. Down the floor, it's a 3-on-1. Puts it up off the glass, no good. But an offensive charge is called on Chilton.
Yeah, Josh, and it's a good charge take there by that young lady. If I'm Zoe, I have to recognize she's setting up for that charge. I know you got a lot of momentum, but take a hop step into that. You'll be more on balance, and you can take that jumper over the top.
And Bentley giving Wallace no room to breathe as she tries to push it down the floor. Spin move, not biting as Bentley gets around, now drives all the way to the basket, misses the layup, and picked up by Bentley. Now Chilton up the left side. Gives to Everett at the wing, met by Wallace. Everett, nice move, dribbles in hard, takes it herself. The floater won't go, and it's rebounded by Hartney of the Lady Lions. Dribbles in, wants to take it all the way, met in the paint and loses a handle of it. And Floyd tries to save it, unable to do so. So Camden maintains possession as Chloe Warren checks back into the game for Zoe Chilton. Score update, 14-8, with Hickman leading, 5:17 left in the first half. That's Douglas in the corner. Now gives to the wing. It's Hartney. A lot of quick passes here. Wide open look by Wallace. Won't go. Douglas gets the rebound and the putback. So 14-10. Both teams now over double digits in the game. Floyd at the wing. Pulls up from deep. Won't get it. And Warren tips it to King, who tries to go up. Won't go. And it's knocked out of bounds by Bailey Berry of Camden. And a timeout is called by Hickman as Coach Gordon wants his team to get their bearings about them with under 5 minutes to play in this first half.
This is a good timeout there by Coach Gordon. Ava was seeing it really good. She's missed a couple from deep in a row. Now she has to go back to facilitating and looking for, a good shot in the lane, not just pulling up from deep. The rest of the team, if I'm cutting on offense right now, Hickman County has been getting away with being just a little late on everything, but I have to be cutting through this zone so many times because this zone has broken down multiple times off of a good cut. And
Floyd looking for someone to find and gets King on the bounce pass in the paint, but King dribbles it back out. Backing down, puts it up mid-range, too strong, rebounded by Douglas. And I should clarify, ladies and gentlemen, one of Floyd's threes that we thought would be credited, they actually called it a 2. So instead of having 3 threes, Floyd only has 2 on the game. Driving in. That's Pierce, who has to dribble back out because of the tight defense played by Floyd. That's Barry, hands off. That's Hartney, met by Bentley. Dribbles around to the right, goes into the paint. Shot off the glass, no good. Floyd gets the rebound, and now it's a foot race. 3-on-1, nothing there. Everett gets the rebound, looking for help. And a foul is called on Camden. So Cam, what we saw from Floyd in the latter half of last week was she wasn't driving in as much. She was relying on the jump stops, the mid-range jumpers, and they worked really well for her, but right there we saw a little bit of the old Ava. She tried to drive in on 3 players. You don't hate the idea, but definitely a very, very risky decision. As Floyd looks to find Bentley, can't do it, and it's taken away by Wallace. Now 4 minutes left to play in the first half. The score is still 14-10. That's back up top, met by Bentley. Gives it over to Pierce at the left wing. Now back up top to Wallace, who gives over from the corner. Knocks down the 3. That was Avery Wright who had checked in for Camden, the junior.
And Josh, that play was specifically drawn up for her. If they're calling a play specifically for the girl to go to the 3-point line, you should figure, hey, she can shoot. Let me get it away from her.
And Floyd tries to drive, has it taken away. Ball's loose on the floor, and finally picked up by Pierce. Camden on the offensive, and after that three, they cut it to 1 point, 14-13 your score. Lady Dogs still lead. Barry goes up and puts it off the glass and in the basket. So Camden, after a few minutes of trailing, finds themselves back in the lead. Tinley Davis is also checked in for the Lady Dogs. Warren drives in left-handed, bounce past to King in the corner. Looking for help, takes the dribble, and she's on the baseline. So another turnover for Hickman County, and the momentum now sits firmly with Camden.
And Josh, we talked about it before the game started. It's that 1 quarter lull that they hit. And it is due to the shot selection right now. The shots that the Lady Dogs are shooting are just not effective and good shots. They have to settle back into their offense, trust what they've practiced over and over and over, because Camden is beating them strictly off of trusting their process.
And Pierce tries to drive on the baseline, has it knocked away by Chilton, but she recovers and finds right in the corner. Again, Chilton knocks it away. So while possession will stay with Camden, Zoe was an absolute problem right there on that offensive possession for the Lady Lions.
Yeah, Chilton's aggressiveness tonight has really stood out to me. She's playing really aggressive.
And right from the corner off the inbound, knocks down another corner three, probably in the exact same spot where she was from the last three. So Camden widens it 18-14, and a timeout is taken on the floor by Coach Gordon.
And Josh, you have to know where shooters are at. That is a basic fundamental of basketball. Where your shooters are. They lost track of her there and left her wide open in the same corner she just knocked one down in. You know she's seen it good from that spot. You can't allow that.
And Camden, it feels like it's hard in basketball to get open looks, especially from beyond the perimeter. But right there, she wasn't covered a single time in both of those three-point attempts. So I don't know if that's good fortune or simply a lack of attention to detail from Hickman County.
Well, Josh, going in, so they're out-of-bounds defense. If you will watch the Lady Dogs play, when the other team is underneath their goal, they always are in a 2-3 zone and then expand out to man. I like that idea. It doesn't allow shots inside. But if there's a screen on the outside, the person down low has to communicate to the guard up top to cover the corner. Right there, I saw confusion and a lack of communication. I would just boil it down to that.
After the timeout, Hickman County has possession. Warren at the wing, looking for help. Finds Bentley, now to Davis. Davis dribbles in, mid-range shot, short, but Warren flies in for the rebound and bounce passes it to King, who has it knocked away from her. The ball's loose on the floor and picked up by Barry of Camden. So the Lady Lions have completely taken over so far these last few minutes. They find that shooter. It's Avery Wright at the wing, but Bentley there to meet her quick. She tries to dribble in. And Bentley knocks it away, but Wright able to save it from going out of bounds and gives it back to Pierce.
And Josh, this Lady Dogs defense has to get up in the grill of these Camden girls and start swiping. There's only one good ball handler really on the floor for Camden. Force them to put the ball on the ground and make them make a mistake. Right now they're just allowing passes and a lot of screens. They're letting it be easy.
And Wright tries to drive, loses her footing, but a foul will be called on Hickman County.
Now Josh, how do you play defense? You have to move your feet. You play defense with your feet, you get steals and blocks with your hands. That's what a lot of people forget. They think getting a steal or a block is really effective defense. Is it? Oftentimes, but it's because your feet were in the right place. If your feet are in the right place, you can't
And Delaney King denies the pass of Wallace and forces a turnover. So now less than a minute to play in the first half. Bentley at the left wing. Gives over to Warren. Now back to Bentley. Bentley drives, kicks it out to Chilton. Now Warren up top. A lot of passes here by Hickman County. Chilton, bounce pass. Bentley now to Floyd. Some great ball movement by the Lady Dogs. Leads to an Ava Floyd bucket. So 16-18, Lady Dogs trail by 2. 30 seconds to play in the first half.
And Josh, that baseline has been open all night for the Lady Dogs. They just aren't utilizing it.
Wallace pulls up from 3. Won't go. Rebounded by Chilton. And with under 20 seconds, Hickman County with a chance to finish this half with some points.
But Camden's biggest, slowest player is the only one that's covering the baseline right now. If you don't take advantage of that, then I don't know what else to tell you.
In the corner, it's Chilton. 2 seconds to play. Bentley to Floyd, and they won't get a shot off. So this half will end with the Lady Lions in the lead 18-16. And Cam, it seemed like just not enough urgency there for the Lady Dogs going into the half.
No, Josh, honestly, you just have to chalk that down to a lack of awareness. And if you're not locked in enough to the game to be ready to pull off a last-second shot, I don't know how it can help you, right? You're in the middle of a basketball game. You have to know where the clock is at. You are in a 2-point ball game. You have to know. There's no excuse for the lack of that. But irregardless, the Lady Dogs right now, they are just in this weird position on offense, and they're putting themselves in losing positions on defense, right? They're trying to play defense with their hands, and so they're committing a good number of fouls where they should be getting steals. And then on the offensive end, they're not like in the first quarter, they used the advantage they had in the zone really well. They got the ball on the baseline. Right now, you have to get the ball as low as possible to best combat the zone that they're playing, because it's a good zone.
I'm sure Coach Gordon will have a lot to address in the locker room at the half. But at the end of one half of play here in Camden, your Hickman County Lady Dogs 16, the Camden Lady Lions 18, but still one half to play in this game. Should be a competitive finish. And before we go to this intermission, I want to give another special thank you to our sponsors that have made tonight's broadcast possible. Ascension St. Thomas, MLEC, Advocate Auto Body and Pizza Hut, Liberty Pharmacy, and McDonald Funeral Home. All staples in the Hickman County community, and we are beyond grateful for what they do for WNKX. And folks, we're especially grateful for all of you tuning in tonight. We appreciate your support and your viewership. But folks, me and Cam will take a brief intermission. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Second half play underway in just under 10 minutes. And welcome back to WNKX, this presentation of Hickman County basketball. Your Hickman County Lady Dogs are on the road tonight in Camden, where they take on the Camden Central Lady Lions. And Cam, it's been a game that's been played back and forth so far. It's been pretty 50-50 to this point. Of course, your score, Hickman 16, Camden 18. But there's been a lot of score changes, a lot of ebbs and flows. So if you're Coach Gordon, what are you addressing in the locker room?
I think I'm just addressing primarily our mentality right now. It hasn't been a lack of effort, but it's been a lack of, like, decision making, I would say. Every decision they're making, it seems like they're either second guessing themselves or it was a little late. Like, that's a lot of what I'm seeing is they'll make the right decision half a second to a full second late. And so things that should be flowing are kind of one point to the next and not a flow. And it needs to be a flow right now.
And we are now underway with second half basketball. Hickman will start off with possession. Floyd in the left corner met by a few Lady Lions, but she dribbles out and pulls up from the corner and can't get it to fall. And it's rebounded by Floyd. King was one that knocked it to her. King mid-range, too strong, and rebounded by Melton of Camden. So the first offensive possession is empty for Hickman County. Camden looking to widen their lead. Melton looking, passes up top. That's Barry. Barry over to Wallace. At the right wing, gives it back up top to Pierce. Pierce over to Barry. So a lot of passes from beyond the perimeter thus far from Camden on this possession. Now Wallace up top. That's Pierce. Passes Melton, kicks it. Wallace from the corner, doesn't get it. Floyd tips it to Bentley, and Hickman County secures the rebound. Now Floyd up the right side of the floor. Met by Pierce, goes all the way over to Bentley at the left side. And the pass is tipped up, but Bentley able to corral it. Nice hustle play by Nola Kate, and she gives it over to Floyd. Floyd dribbles in, kicks it. Chilton has to go back to Floyd to the wing, and a foul is called on Emma Pierce.
So Josh, Camden, who is in this really wide, extended 2-3 zone, is now in a 1-3-1. Now, the Lady Dogs didn't utilize the baseline nearly enough in the first half, and it's even more important right here.
And Warren dribbles in, was looking for help. Lost her footing a bit, combined with some good defense by the Lady Lions, and Camden forces the turnover. So no buckets yet in this second half. Hartney drives it on Floyd, has to change her mind and dribble back out. Now swings over to Barry. Barry hands to Pierce. Pierce looks to drive with the free throw stripe, spin move, and has to give it back out. Now swings all the way over to Hartney at the right wing. Melton sets a screen, Hartney drives in, takes a tumble, and a walk is called. So Cam, Hickman County has played some really good interior defense up to this point.
Yeah, Josh, and honestly, I think that's their saving grace right now. Not allowing easy looks inside. They have done a great job at, when they make a mistake defensively, they are recovering quickly. So, you know, effort-wise, this is a great job just going all-out effort tonight from the Lady Dogs.
So Hickman back in offensive possession. A lot of passes here. Bounce pass. Warren to King. King off the glass. Gets it to go. Give Warren the assist. And that is King's first bucket of the game and the team's first bucket of the second half as we're all tied up at 18. That's Wallace up top, met by Warren. Wallace, certainly the best handler on the team. Now Hartney tries to drive, met by Bentley and Floyd, and she has to take a detour and give it back out to Barry. Now it's Harney at the right wing. Melton sets a screen. And a nice job by Floyd to counteract it. Hand off to Wallace up top.
Now, Josh, something that Camden has done incredibly well is they are well in tune with what their plan is on offense. Everyone is on the same page.
And Chilton knocks it away from Wallace. A wide open break. Chilton takes her time, can't get the layup, but Warren tries to put it back, won't get it. And the ball's loose on the floor. and it goes out of bounds, Hickman ball. So a tough break there for Hickman. Chilton unable to get the layup off after the takeaway, but still a nice defensive play there by Chilton to get us to this point.
Hardest shot in basketball is a wide open layup. You can't convince me otherwise.
And Chilton tries a bounce pass to Floyd, taken away by Melton, but Floyd goes on the floor and forces the jump. The possession arrow favors the Lady Lions.
And now, Josh,
up the floor.
You can't demand perfection, but in a game that is 18-18, halfway through the third quarter, you really want to tighten up at least with mistakes. This game has been filled with mistakes from both sides.
Now Hartney has a look in the corner, knocks it down. So some nice ball movement there by the Lady Lions to open up the three.
And Josh, there's two young ladies. I forget the one on the bench's name, but Wallace, you have got to know where she's located on offense because she's dangerous.
Chilton drives, kicks it to Floyd, finds Chilton back underneath. Chilton off the glass, gets it to go. So Cam, that seems like the nature of basketball sometimes. Chilton unable to hit the open layup, but hits a contested one.
And a highly contested one. It's a great job focusing on the finish there.
So Chilton makes it a 1-point ball game, 20-21, Lady Dogs trail. Hartney dribbles in, loses her footing, tries to go up, but it's knocked out of bounds by Chilton. Harley Everett checking into the game for Nola Bentley. Melton checking out for Camden. Carson Douglas back in for the Lady Lions. Camden will be inbound. He'll be Douglas on the baseline. Looking. Nothing there. Goes out to Wallace up near the logo. Gibbs, Pierce, drives in. Goes off the glass, won't get it, but she will go to the free throw line. And Cam, what I've noticed about this game, there has been a serious lack of free throws being shot in this game, so maybe that's a testament to the disciplined basketball that's being played, or maybe it's the reliance on shooting from beyond the perimeter where there's less foul opportunities.
I would say it's the latter, Josh. Definitely has been more shots from deep as the young lady from Camden knocks down the first. But there's been a lot of fouls in transition, and it's been a very transition-oriented game, and so a lot of the fouls have been on the floor tonight.
So Chilton on offense, swarmed by a few Lady Lions, gets it out to Warren. Now Pierce made both of her free throws, makes it a 3-point game. Everett from the corner, we're tied! The American sniper with her first bucket of the game.
That's a big shot by Carly, having the confidence to step in and knocking that down after missing a couple in the first.
When we talked to Carly, we mentioned her fearlessness. That's on display there. Camden in the corner, it's Hartney. Out of the wing, it's Pierce. Now starts to dribble and gives up top to Douglas. Douglas back to Wallace. Wallace drives in and loses it. Corralled by Chilton, but won't matter as a foul is called on King. That'll be King's second foul of the game. So it'll be Pierce inbounding from the baseline, right in front of us. Goes up top and finds Wallace, met by Everett. Wallace drives in all the way over King, won't get it. Rebounded by Chilton. Now Floyd, right side of the floor. We're tied at 23. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third. Floyd dribbles back out to the corner. Now goes left-handed, and she's fouled by Hartney.
And Josh, as handsy and as, foul in the open court happy as the Lady Dogs have been, Camden has been incredible at moving their feet and being in position defensively. They've not made it easy on the ball handlers of Hickman County tonight.
And important to note, Wallace is subbed out for Camden. Warren gives Everett again from the corner. Too strong. Rebounded by Avery Wright. The lethal three-point shooter for Camden we saw in the first half, and a timeout is called by Camden as the coach noticed his player was in a bit of trouble. So a smart timeout there by the head coach of the Lady Lions, and both coaches look to talk things over with their players. And while they do that, I want to give another shout out to our sponsors for the evening. Ascension St. Thomas, MLEC, Advocate Auto Body, Pizza Hut, Liberty Pharmacy, and the McDonald Funeral Home. This broadcast is not possible without them, so we extend our heart to those organizations. So Cam, less than 2 minutes to play in this third quarter in a game that's been really a nail-biter. It's been back and forth, not really intense. This is probably the lowest scoring Hickman County game we've seen all season, because we know Hickman's fast-paced, they get a lot of shots off. That hasn't been the case here tonight.
Yeah, Josh, it has been, I would almost go as far to say it's been ugly. It has not been a pretty game at all, but the Lady Dogs have found a way to stay in this game, and that is by pure energy and effort. They are giving everything they have and laying it out all out there on the lines.
And Warren forces the ball on the floor and draws the jump. Hickman County will take over. And Cam, I was going to speak to your point that you just made. Besides those 2 threes we saw made by Avery Wright of Camden earlier in this game, nothing has come easy for the Lady Lions.
Yeah, Josh, you're absolutely right. And that has to come from it's purely from effort. We've been out of place and out of sorts on multiple occasions, but we have given everything we can to get in that spot.
Floyd, corner 3, no good. Rebounded by Chilton. Chilton gives it out. Everett, pump fake, dribble in. Tries to find the corner, but it's taken away by Hartney. And Camden on the drive. She goes all the way. King gets her hands up and denies the layup attempt. And Hickman County now driving. Chilton, left side of the floor. Bounce pass to Warren. Floyd, open look from the corner. No good. And Everett hustles it down and gets the rebound. Dribbles in on Hartney. The ball is loose, and a foul is called. And Everett did not take too kindly to that.
And Josh, I will say this. I think for as many, neither team has reached the bonus yet, but I believe both teams each quarter have reached 4. Both teams are closing in on that 4 number, but they have let the girls play. It has been a physical game so far.
And Everett from downtown splashes it. Everett's second 3 of the game, the second of the half for the freshman. And Cam, the American sniper, is on point here tonight in this third quarter. Under 30 seconds to play in the third. Hickman leads 26-23, and Everett tries to get the turnover. Pass intended for Pierce, and Everett is called for the foul.
And Josh, I love Carly Everett trying to get in that passing lane, but she made a classic mistake. She tried to go in with her dominant hand, which is her right hand, and put a shoulder into the girl. If she would go left hand, which is her closest hand, and get the deflection.
As Everett somehow doesn't come up with the takeaways, it still finds Pierce. Now Douglas up top for 3 in the face of Delaney King, and she knocks it down. So that was the first 3 attempted we've seen by Carson Douglas of Camden. And we're tied at 26, 5 seconds. Floyd drives off the glass, gets it to go. And that was Ava Floyd's first bucket of the second half. And it was a big one as Hickman County takes a 28-26 lead going into the fourth. And Cam, Ava I'm not sure how she had found that shot to fall.
Pure focus, Josh, pure focus. Just being locked in enough to go in and make that shot. She knew that the time was ticking away and that she had to get one off. When you're in that, I got to score right now mode, it motivates you to find the spot.
And Cam, that was definitely a bounce back from how we saw the second quarter end. Hickman County had no urgency at the end of the first half, which led to them not even attempting a shot at the buzzer. That right there, the complete opposite. Floyd, aware of the time left, drove in, got the shot off with probably a second to spare, if that. And as well, Cam, that three-pointer made by Carson Douglas, once she hit that, we heard the crowd rile up. Those three-pointers that give you the lead late in games, that's how you get the energy on your side. But Floyd did a great job of silencing that before it could even get a chance to get going.
Yeah, Josh, that was a huge 3 by Camden for what you would think would be ending the half, but a absolute momentum stopper there by Ava Floyd.
So here we go. The fourth quarter about to be underway as Camden begins with possession. It's Wallace. met by Warren. Wallace looking for someone, gives to Melton up top, met by Warren. Now back to Wallace. Jab step, now dribbles in on Bentley. And a blocking foul called on Nola Cape.
And not the worst foul to get. It was one of those, you're trying to apply pressure fouls. I don't hate that foul right there.
So came a small break in the action there. I'm not sure if it was Coach Gordon had a few words to say, but either way, Camden in possession here. The ball's been inbounded to Wallace up top. Reminder, Hickman leads by 2, 28-26. Pass, Pierce in the paint, goes up, doesn't get it to go, and a foul is called late. So that will send number 11, Emma Pierce, back to the line. And Cam, she was essentially automatic the last time she was at the stripe.
Yeah, Josh, this young lady has shot it very well tonight. She hadn't shot it a lot, but she shot it well.
And Pierce makes free throw number 1. A free throw away from a tie game, and she gets it to go. So Pierce doesn't have a lot of spin on her free throw shot, but it falls in all the same as Warren. Right side of the floor for the Lady Dogs. Bounce pass, tries to find Bentley, but it goes out on Wallace. So a dangerous pass, but no harm, no foul for the Lady Dogs. Bentley inbounds to Warren. Warren finds Floyd. And Floyd drives in left-handed looking, finds Bentley, corner 3. Got it! Nothing but net.
And a great job by Ava attacking. So in a 1-3-1, if you want to break it with dribbling, you have to attack at the hips of your defenders. She attacked the defender at the top of the zone and found Nola Kate in the corner. Great job by that young lady.
So Cam looking to answer back. Douglas finds Hartney, goes up, nothing there. But a foul is called on Carly Everett, I believe, is the guilty party. No, they get Ava Floyd with the foul. Number 20 is what the official signifies. And that sends Miley Hartney to the free throw line. Number 1, it's good. A high bounce off the rim, but it falls in.
Josh, I just saw a kid run by here with a open bottle and full sprint and not drop a single drop of water. I'm sorry, that was incredible. I just had to point that out.
Give credit where it's due. And the second free throw, no good by Hartney. So 31-29, your score. Hickman leads by 2. Floyd at the left wing, now gives to Warren. Now Warren over to Bentley. Bentley goes across the way to Warren. Nice hops by Chloe to save the ball from going out of bounds. Bentley up top now with the ball. Out of Warren. A lot of quick passes from the Lady Dogs. Floyd dribbles in, kicks it out. Everett, pump fake, dribble, hands, Bentley. Now Floyd pulls up, won't go. King with the rebound, can't get the putback. And a jump ball forced by Delaney King.
And all night tonight, Delaney has gotten the ball inside, went to go bump, and not move the girl. I mean, these girls in the post are just brick walls down there. If I'm Delaney, I recognize that and try to go with more of a finesse play.
Everett swings over to Warren. Warren drives, kicks to Floyd. Floyd back to Bentley. Bentley from deep. No good, a high bounce. As it flies above the backboard.
Well, Josh, it hit the little rope things that make the goal go up and down, and that's why it was called out of bounds. I hate when those things are in a gym.
Of course, we know Nola for having that high arcing shot.
It's going to create a high bounce and a high rebound every time.
Barry hands off to Hartney, met by Floyd. Under 6 minutes to play, Dogs up by 2. Wallace gives over to Barry in the corner. King there to guard. Now back to Wallace. Wallace tries to dribble in on Warren, goes to the corner. It's Pierce. Pierce drives. Tries to go up off the glass, won't go. Everett rebounds. Everett on the drive. Left side of the floor. Gives off to Floyd. Floyd gives Bentley. Now to Everett again. Goes across the way to Ava. Ava wants to drive in, but knocked out of bounds by Pierce. So Hickman stays in possession. 5:10 to go in the game. Hickman 31, Camden 29. And Bentley subs out. We see Zoe Chilton back in the game for the Lady Dogs. Now Floyd takes the inbounded pass from Chilton, gives to Warren at the left wing. Warren back over to Floyd, right wing. Floyd, nice little behind the back move and gives over to Chilton. Now under 5 minutes to play.
Now, Josh, Camden has gotten back into their really extended 2-3 zone, but they have a larger lineup in, so I'm interested to see how we'll adjust.
King tries to find Everett back cutting, goes off the hands of Carley. Now Camden driving with a chance to tie. It's Pierce on Everett at the wing, gives it back up top. It's Wallace. Wallace drives on Warren. Not a lot of real estate as Chloe giving up, and Barry sets a screen for her teammate. The ball sails, and Pierce gets it right at the sideline. Probably not even an inch separating her foot from the line. But gives it back up top to Hartney. Hickman playing some tough defense. Hartney tries to drive and can't. Melton up top. Has to give over to Wallace. Wallace, Barry in the paint, goes up. Won't go, and a foul is called. So that will send Bailey Berry to the free throw line for her first time today.
And Josh, that's why you have got to play defense with your feet. There, Delaney wasn't necessarily in the right position to deal with that really good spin, almost spin to the inside. You have to be ready for that.
And Barry won't get the first free throw to fall, so Camden still trails by 2. 4:05 left to play. Barry shot up, and this one's good. So Camden cuts it from 2-1, 31-30. Everett has subbed out. Nola Bentley has subbed back in. So Warren crosses the logo at midcourt. Gives over to Floyd. Under 4 to play. Nice bounce pass to King. Goes back under the corner. It's Bentley. No good. And it looks good from here. And Warren secures the rebound. Floyd, step back 3. Won't go. And Barry finally gets the rebound for Camden. So a couple of open looks there. Won't fall for the Lady Dogs. Under 4 to play. About 3:30 to go. The ball sails out of bounds. They'll say it was tipped out by Hickman.
Yeah, and a great job there by Zoe Chilton to poke that ball out on a very weak ball handling player. We have to do that throughout this lineup, as Chloe Warren does the same here.
Of course, no midcourt violation called because Warren did tip it over there. Bounce pass to Hartney in the corner, dribbles in the baseline, met by King, bounce pass, right, gives out, Pierce from 3, no good, and Hartney shoves Floyd, and that's probably one of the easier foul calls you'll see a referee have to make.
Yeah, Josh, you saw the extension of number 1's hands go out. Even if she didn't happen to foul Ava falling there and her continuing on with the motion definitely at least played it off well, but it looked to me like a true push.
So Hickman looking for some insurance. 3 minutes to play. Lady Dogs lead by 1, and a blocking foul is called on Camden. They'll get Wallace as the guilty party. So Camden has not fouled a whole lot. They've been a very disciplined team thus far. Floyd up top, met by Wallace, gives over to Warren at the left wing. Warren bounce pass to Chilton, looking for help. Gives it back out to Floyd at the left wing. Doesn't take the 3. Had an open look for a moment or two. Now Floyd dribbles over to the top of the key. Some good defense being played by Camden as she gives over to Warren. Warren back to Floyd. Now back to Warren. Tough pass, Chilton at the free throw line. Nice move, tries to dribble in. Has it knocked away, and a jump ball is forced by Pierce of the Lady Lions, and the possession arrow favors Camden.
And Josh, Camden has done such a good job of always being in a help, right? The initial defender got beat. That young lady picked her up, and that's been a theme all night. You know, Camden is always there to at least stop them at the rim. And I would have loved to see a few more mid-range jumpers from Hickman County tonight just because of that.
And Avery Wright, another open 3. This one won't go. Rebounded by Hartney, who looks for help. And it goes off a dog player right to Barry. And Barry goes off the glass and gets the 2. So Camden back in front, 32-31, under 2 minutes to play. 1:55 and counting, Warren up top. Chilton back over to Warren. Hickman can't really generate a lot of offense. And Chilton and Warren playing hot potato. Bounce pass to Floyd on the baseline. Goes. Has it batted away by Barry. I'll say it was a clean block. No foul called. And a timeout is called. Hickman County does maintain possession. So Cam, 90 seconds on the dot remaining in this game. Hickman trails by 1. But Cam, the offense has gone so stagnant in this quarter.
Well, they just don't look like they have a plan right now. If I'm Coach Gordon, I'm not. All I'm talking about is offense right now. It looks like they have no plan, no idea of what they want to do when they get down there. Look, you're down by 1. Last possession, you were up by 1, and they were sitting there just kind of dribbling out some clock, wasting a little time. If you're only up by 1, I'm trying to extend the lead a little. That's not enough to be comfortable dribbling outside, you know? So I'm trying to manufacture good looks. If they don't go in, they don't go in. But you have to at least manufacture some looks at the goal.
And to your point, Cam, Hickman was playing this style of offense when they had the lead, and even now that they're trailing by 1, I mean, there has to be some urgency somewhere, right? Because if you bring it down to the last shot, you never want to leave it up to a 50-50.
And there's plenty of urgency on defense right now. Like, we know they have it about them on defense, but we got to pick it up on offense.
So here we go, timeout break over. Floyd inbounds to Warren. Warren dribbles in the baseline, tries to put it up, and it's knocked out of bounds. So an aggressive take there by Warren. And Hickman will have to inbound yet again. Floyd will be the player throwing it in for the Dogs. No, Chilton comes in and takes over as the inbounder. And Chilton lets it fly to Bentley. Bounce pass to Floyd. Floyd dribbles in baseline on Hartney. Swings out to Warren. Open look. No good. And Barry secures the rebound. And she loses handle of it. Chilton keeps it in to Bentley. And Bentley gets it out to Warren. So a phenomenal defensive effort by Chilton. Floyd, mid-range. No good. The ball's on the floor. And a jump ball is called. The possession arrow favors Hickman County. So Cam, Hickman's gotten a lot of lucky breaks so far with under a minute now to play, 58.4 to go. Dogs still trail by a point. Chilton the inbound, bounce pass to Bentley. Out Chilton in the corner. Now over to Bentley at the wing. Bentley dribbles, bounce pass to Floyd over at the right wing. Floyd mid-range. This one goes. Hickman County back in front, 33-32, 40 seconds to go. Hartney up the floor. And this game will come down to the wire. Hartney met by Floyd, dribbles across the midcourt line, dishes over to Wallace. Wallace met by Warren. Looking for somebody, finds Barry, who's been lethal this quarter. Finds Hartney, ball loose. And the ball hits the baseline out of bounds on the Lady Dogs. So 22.1 seconds to go, and Cam Hickman's defense has been tough all game, and no room for error here.
And Josh, I will commend these refs. I will absolutely commend these refs. They have done a very good job of calling everything very much the same. It has been very, very physical on both sides. They've let in some blocks happen that probably should have been fouls on both sides. So I can't say, it's been a clean game, but it has been very evenly called.
And Cam, I believe the official stoppage was the removal of a fan. So of course you never want to see that. So it's all about how these teams bounce back when there's any stoppage in a game, right? That can mess with your mentality, your flow, your momentum. So let's see how Camden responds. It'll be Abby Grace Wallace inbounding for the Lady Lions. So of course they're waiting here until things have cleared out. So Wallace looking, inbounds to Barry, loses handle of it, but she runs it down. 20 seconds to play, and a foul is called on Chilton. Now, Cam, if I'm not mistaken, that's foul number 5.
That should just be, it is 5. Oh, a timeout from Coach Gordon. I think it's only 3. The scoreboard says 3 at least.
So, of course, letting them clarify what's happening here. If it stands, Barry will be the one at the free throw line with 20 seconds on the dot remaining. So she needs at least 1 to tie and 2 to take the lead.
Josh, if I'm going to foul anybody, I'm going to foul her. She's been the only one to miss all the free throws attempted tonight. Is it a foul that you wanted if you're Zoe Chilton? Probably not. Is it the worst one you could make? Definitely not.
No, Kim, I believe she's made at least 1. I think she went 1 for 2 on one of her last possessions when she shot from the free throw line.
But either way, right, now she's completely out of her momentum. Right, there was a timeout with the fan in the stand, and now Coach Gordon takes a timeout, and she's been cold. And, she's having to get encouragement from her coach, so she looks really nervous right now. So if you're Hickman County, I don't mind sending her to the free throw line.
Coach Gordon icing the kicker, if you will, a football term, though we hear so often late in games. It can happen in basketball too, so Barry at the line. Here we go, free throw number 1. It's up, and it's good. We're tied at 33.
That's my bad, Josh. That's on me. Dang it.
So number 2 for the lead. And Barry sinks it. Camden leads. 34-33. Hickman has 20 seconds to get a shot up. Chilton driving. The pass is tipped away and picked up by Camden. So 11.5 to go and a critical turnover by the Lady Dogs. And that sends Pierce to the line, someone you definitely don't want to see.
And Josh, if you're Hickman County right there, what do you need to do? You need to get the ball in the point guard's hands. Ava Floyd should have been the one that was bringing it up. Chloe Warren should have been the one that was bringing it up. It put Chilton in a tough situation.
So the 2 free throws by Pierce both go in, a 3-point game. Hickman has to have a 3. And a timeout is called by Coach Gordon. And Cam, if you're Hickman County, you can't afford to take a shot anything less than from beyond the 3-point arc. Now, going back to the East game, that was something that came back to bite the Lady Dogs. They tried to drive in when they were down by at least 3, and it resulted in them losing. So Cam, at this point, Coach Gordon is probably telling his girls, you have to live and die by the 3. But first, you have to set them up in a position to get the shot off.
Absolutely, Josh, and you have to get the ball in either Chloe Warren or Ava Floyd's hands to bring it down the court. Camden's going to be up in them on defense. And so, you know they're going to be doing that. So, 1, be prepared, but find a way to get one of those 2 players open and get the ball down the floor.
So Carly Everett is back in the game. They definitely have their quote-unquote 3-point team out there with Bentley, Everett, Floyd, Warren, and Chilton. All 5 of these ladies can be a 3-point make team. Now Everett gets it down left side of the floor. Less than 10 seconds. Everett, step back, pulls up, and the shot was blocked by Wallace. And a foul is called with 3.2 seconds to go. So Cam, Everett, definitely who you want taking that shot, but it was just too well contested. But Cam, these are some big free throws by Addie Jo Melton. The only hope really the Bulldogs have is if she misses both. So 1 free throw here puts this game on ice. No good. So here we go. 1 free throw to decide the game. Melton up. It's good, and that will do it. With 3.2 seconds, Chilton inbounds to Warren, to Everett. Everett lets it fly well off the mark. And the Camden Lady Lions have knocked off the Hickman County Lady Dogs by a final score of 37-33.
And Josh, it is a horrible loss for the Lady Dogs, right? You hate to be in that position, but if I am them, this might be the biggest learning moment of the season, right? You came out and you clobbered Harpeth on Saturday, right? Your energy, your effort, your mental game was all there. Tonight, the decision making wasn't the clearest and cleanest. That's what bit you. Now, coming out from this, it is a learning experience. Chalk it up to that, right? So the Lady Dogs have to, yes, let this one hurt tonight, but move on from it. You got a game on Friday.
And of course, Cam, I'm looking forward to having a word with Coach Gordon at the half of the girls' game. I'm sure he'll have a lot to talk about as far as this performance goes, but I know he's not going to hang his head too much. You have a game to look forward to on Friday, big district game against Harpeth on the 31st of January. So I think you have to look ahead. You have to put this in the rearview mirror and learn from it, as you said, Cam. And we prepare here in just a few moments for our second game of the evening. The boys of Camden will do battle with the boys of Hickman County in what should be a barn burner. Now, folks, we're going to take a brief intermission, Cam and I. We're going to hydrate, use the bathroom. We'll be back in a few minutes to give you a pregame. Don't go anywhere. And we're back on WNKX with our presentation of Hickman County Sports. We thank you all for tuning in on YouTube this evening as we have a great game on tap for you here tonight between the Hickman County Bulldogs and the Camden Central Lions. Hickman County, the boys enter in tonight 13-7, 3-0 in the district, and Camden enters in tonight 15-5, 2-0 in their district. So Cam, a battle tonight of two really good teams, and I'm excited for what this holds. What do you think the game plan is tonight for the Hickman County Bulldogs against a team who did come off a loss against Waverly on Friday? So that's definitely on the mind of Camden. But before that, they won 5 games in a row before that Waverly loss. The Hickman County Bulldogs enter in tonight on a 4-game win streak. So it's a team looking to get back on track and a team looking to keep things going.
Well, Josh, I will say this. Camden has been the first team that has legitimately, in all facets of the word, outsized us. They are big. So you know what that means? We got to box out, right? There has to be a full commitment on the defensive boards to limit the number of second chance points that Camden gets tonight. If we control the boards, we control the pace, it's an easy path to victory. If we allow them to get second chance opportunities, if we're not sharp on defense, then it's going to be a long night. Now, I will say this Bulldogs team as of late, effort and energy-wise, has been really good. But all that energy that we have been playing with, we have to cap it out tonight, right? To beat size, you have to outrun and out-effort those guys, and I think that's what tonight caused.
And Cam, a matchup that I'm looking forward to here tonight, of course, we know the center for the Hickman County Bulldogs, the 6'6" junior, Tyler McKinnon. He will be doing battle tonight with number 44 of Camden, who also stands at 6'6", their center, the senior, Noah Porter. So Cam, if you're Tyler McKinnon, whenever you have someone that's evenly matched with you, because this season we're used to Tyler being the biggest dude on the court. So if you're McKinnon, what mindset does he have to be in here tonight? How does his game change?
Well, Josh, first things first, one of them two is lying. Because either Tyler ain't 6'6", or he's a lot bigger than 6'6", because he's bigger than Tyler. And maybe my eyes deceive me, but that is a big old boy. And so if I'm Tyler, I have to meet the challenge head on. There's been plenty of guys in the history of basketball that have been undersized and been effective. A guy like, I don't know, Charles Barkley, or any guy that's, you know, just not as big as their opponent, obviously, but is an effective rebounder, like Dennis Rodman. So tonight, there has to be scrappiness about the way he plays, because, so we've seen a couple guys that are 6'5", 6'6", that, you know, they're around Tyler's size, but Tyler has just the weight on them, right? Tyler's a very filled out kid. Well, the young man on the other side is built the same way. He's not one of these skinny 6'6". He is a stout 6'6". And so because of that, Tyler has got to meet him with everything that he has tonight. If he doesn't score a point tonight, that should be fine as long as he is given everything he has on the boards and on defense.
And Cam, a player I want to talk about for Hickman County, of course, you know him, you love him, the senior, number 12, Elisha Puckett. He has been captain consistency these last 2 games. In back-to-back performances, he's finished with 18 points. Of course, the 18-point performance against Cheatham County last Friday was his 1,000-point performance. So once again, congratulations to Elisha as he looks to build on that here tonight. But something we should mention about Elisha, early in the second half of this season, even going back to the first half of the year, he relied heavily on that mid-range fadeaway shot, which has been so effective for him. But Cam, these last few games, Elisha's really finding his groove again from the three-point line, something that he started off the season doing really, really well.
Yeah, Josh, you know, to be the best scorer you can be, you have to score at 3 levels. And so, looking tonight at Elisha, for him to come out and shoot well, against a team that has a lot of size, if you want to be able to get in the lane and make plays driving, you have got to stretch them out. It is just like the girls' game. You have got to stretch the defense out, make them uncomfortable, and that has to be a priority tonight. Even if you don't make them, you have to take them just to give them the thought that, hey, they're going to shoot this ball. And so, looking at tonight, I'm looking to Elisha to recognize, like, hey, we have got to stretch these guys out. Now, we've faced larger opponents, bigger teams. First ones that come to my mind are like Upperman. I went and watched them at the Christmas tournament, the first game they played. Upperman matched their size for the most part, but it was a stretch them out. Let's play fast. Let's play long. And tonight it's got to be more the same.
And now, Cam, what I noticed about these two teams as well, Camden has double the amount of seniors that we have. Of course, Hickman County seniors representing that class, Elisha Puckett, Braden Folks, and Charlie Blystad. So, of course, 3 seniors for Hickman, 6 seniors for Camden. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? But when you have 6 seniors, that's a lot of experience on the team. That's a lot of chemistry. That's a lot of years that you have to build that camaraderie, to be a really good gelled together basketball team. So I think tonight, not only does Hickman need to rely on their seniors, but on the underclassmen to step up. I want to see Braden Brown, who I'm sure will be a part of the starting 5 here tonight, and he has been a spark plug for this team. And of course the juniors, as always, Hickman, of course, is a very strong junior class. Tyler McKinnon and Dylan Qualls come to my mind as well. A part of this junior class, Will McDonald, also a member of this junior class. So while Hickman may not have the depth at seniors, Cam, they have a lot of good young talent that have also played together for a while.
Yeah, Josh, and at this point in the season, it almost doesn't matter the class. Like in a tight game, that starts to matter, but in just a game-to-game basis, you should be a well-gelled, just oiled machine, right? You should be able to just run, and because you know each other's game, you know how you play, so 100%. I think chemistry plays a part in it, and at this point in the season, it doesn't matter who you are. You're a team, and you have to play like that.
So the starting lineup being introduced for the Hickman County Bulldogs. Of course, Elisha Puckett, Dylan Qualls, Will McDonald, Braden Brown, and Tyler McKinnon will be the 5 for Hickman County. And Cam, this is the starting 5 that Coach Dawson loves going to. Now, that doesn't mean he won't substitute early. He has a lot of talented young men on that bench that he can turn to at a moment's notice.
Yeah, Josh, I think that this group right here can kind of communicate without even saying a word, right? They can find a flow in their offense. They can say very few words on defense, and they know where they're going to be. So, they're well gelled and ready to go, and I look to them to step up big.
The starting 5 being introduced now for Camden. The starting 5, Gage Johnson, Isaac Moore, Angelo Arnold, Jake Reynoldson, and Noah Porter. Of course, Porter, the man whose name we talked about earlier, the 6'6 center, the senior. And tonight, Camden, head coached by Dave Roberts. No, not the Dodgers manager, but the Camden head coach. And of course, the head coach for your Hickman County Bulldogs, Chris Dawson. So it's always a battle on the floor, but also a battle of strategy as head coaches go head-to-head. And we are just about ready to get underway as Qualls tips it, and Camden begins with possession. Maybe it's loose. And Camden finally picks up. It's Porter. So here we go. It's Arnold, met by McDonald at the right wing. Wants to dribble, gives it up top. That's Moore. Moore dribbles to the left wing and hands off. It's Johnson. Johnson goes across the way to Porter. Back up top. Dribbles in, ball now in the right corner as Moore dribbles in, kicks it out. Corner three, that's Reynoldson, no good. Rebounded by Qualls. Qualls double teamed in the corner looking for help and gives off to Brown. And down the right side of the floor, Puckett swings it. McDonald underneath, who has to dribble it back out. And Puckett touch pass over to Brown up top. So nice defensive possession. Puckett, corner, bounce pass to Brown, pulls up from three. Braden Brown gets the festivities started with a bang as he knocks down an early three.
Now, Josh, Hickman County is in that 2-2-1 press that we've been seeing as they transition back into a 2-3 zone. So more of the same from defense.
And McKinnon gets the takeaway from Jake Reynoldson. McDonald now driving, goes up off the glass, won't get it. McKinnon can't complete the putback. It's tipped out in the corner. Brown picks it up, but it rolls on the sideline, and it'll be a turnover. So a missed opportunity there under the basket for the Dogs, but they still lead 3-0 here early. So up the floor is Gage Johnson, met by Brown. They'll have to hand it off to Arnold. It goes out of bounds, knocked away by Puckett. So both teams playing very aggressive defense, not allowing any easy ball movement.
Now, Josh, I'm really loving this 2-2-1 press. Early in the season when we first implemented it, it was kind of slow and they were out of place, but they've really synced up in this press to make it tough to get past half court.
So Isaac Moore in the right corner, hands over to Johnson at the wing. Johnson goes all the way wing to wing to Porter. Porter dribbles in, goes up and over McKinnon, no good. And it's rebounded by Moore, who gets it out to his man Arnold. Now it's a corner attempt, no, pump fake, dribbles in, pass, mid-range shot is up, no good. And McKinnon secures the rebound. Brown down the floor, met by Porter, bounce pass, McDonald goes up, off the glass, no good. And he gets it, even with the 6'6" Porter guarding him. A nice move there by McDonald.
Yeah, great job.
Your score early.
Great job there by Will, just staying strong, staying with it.
And driving it's Johnson all the way to the bucket, won't go, and Qualls gets the rebound. So under 5.5 to go in the first quarter. McDonald pulls up, splashes the three. And Cam, these Bulldogs have started off on fuego as they lead 8-0 here, and Camden already forced to call a timeout to get their bearings about them.
Josh, I need more. Right, I need you to just pour it on as much as you can give them and as quickly as you can give them, right? Camden has been really bad in transition defense. There's no doubt in my mind that's what the coach is talking about right now from Camden. But them being so slow in transition defense, we need to force them to play an uncomfortable pace, right? Camden doesn't look great against the press. Now, they look really good and with a plan in the half court. They haven't executed yet because they have a 0 on the board. But in the half court, they look like they have a plan. But in the full court, they do look a little uncomfortable.
So here we go, timeout over, we're underway. Camden trying to move it down the floor. It's Angelo Arnold right side. Dribbles in, tries to step, and it goes off of Qualls and picked up by Puckett. McDonald now driving down the floor. Off the glass, won't go, rebounded by Moore. So Camden now picking up the tempo, driving, goes over McKinnon, won't get it, and McKinnon secures the board. Now down the floor, finds McDonald, nice cross, kicks it, Puckett, pulls up from three, no good. Qualls tries to secure the rebound, but Gage Johnson comes in for Camden and swats it out of bounds. So Hickman County will maintain possession, Puckett inbounding from the baseline. Goes over the top, finds McDonald, step back, loses a handle of it, and knocked out of bounds by Angelo Arnold. So some nice defense played there by Arnold. McDonald can never really quite get a firm grip on the ball. It'll be Braden Brown inbounding from in front of the Camden bench. Finds Puckett mid-range. No good, but he gets his own rebound. Mid-range over Porter. This one goes. And we know Elisha Puckett will not miss 2 of those in a row.
It was a matter of time, Josh. It was a matter of time.
So 10-0 your score. Bulldogs lead big here early. Now Johnson driving down the floor, has to pull up and set up, and gives over to Reynoldson up top, dribbles over to the right wing, and gives up top. Pass, Porter in the paint over McKinnon, and he gets it. So that's really been the first example of Porter's size playing dividends all game. Hickman's kept him pretty well contained. So now 10-2 your score as Camden finally erases the goose egg.
And the biggest thing in the 2-3 zone is to not be sucked up away from the rim. You have to protect the rim in a 2-3 zone, and they're just not right now.
Puckett drives no good. McKinnon gets the rebound and bounce pass to Puckett. Puckett to Brown. Corner three. And Puckett splashes the three, but the whistle blows and a violation is called. A 3-second violation to be specific. So and Porter knocks down the three from the left corner. So Cam not only can he use his size in the paint, but he also put up some threes for the Lions as they cut the lead in half 10-5. Under 3.5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Brown up top, finds Puckett the free throw stripe, looking for help, finds McKinnon, can't go up, gives it back out. Brown from three, open look, no good. The ball goes off of Camden, but they're able to pick it up. It's Gage Johnson down the floor in a hurry. Out of Moore, who drives, that's Arnold, and Moore tries to fly in for the rebound, doesn't, and Qualls picks it up. And Qualls drives himself, those long strides, lays it up and in.
Great job there.
It's Arnold down the floor, looks for his man Moore, but it goes off Moore's hands and Brown picks it up. And a very heads-up play there by Arnold of Camden to make sure it goes off of Brown before it goes out of bounds, so Camden takes over possession. 12-5 your score after the Qualls layup. Hickman leads, but Camden trying to make a surge back with under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's Gage Johnson at the logo. Reynolds tries to drive, nothing there, and has to feed it back out to Arnold, and Arnold goes over to Johnson. He floats it over to Reynolds at the left wing, drives, puts it up mid-range, no good. And McKinnon gets the rebound, he uses his size. Now Qualls, right side of the floor, tough pass to Brown on the money. Brown has to save it. Puckett in the corner, Puckett drives baseline, and a foul is called on Camden. So unfortunately, you guys couldn't see that since our camera's not with us, but a referee almost in the line of fire there, Cam.
Yeah, Josh. I would have had your back. I would have little Spider-Man that ball right there for you.
And Kylan Seal checking in, along with Charlie Blystad for Brown and McKinnon. Nice pass, Puckett to Qualls, bounce back to Puckett, and Puckett lays it up and in. So Johnson gives over to Arnold in the left corner, met by Puckett. Reynolds sets a screen. You can't use it. Dribble it back around and passes over to Johnson and over to Porter in that right corner. One to pull up, but loses a handle on it, and it goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Camden. So Cam, it looked like Porter just lost a handle of it there, but the official says Qualls got a hand on it. And it'll be Isaac Moore throwing it in for Camden in front of the Hickman bench and finds Gage Johnson. Johnson drives on Blystad, gives the Porter in the corner, pulls up again from three, no good, rattles in and out. And I'll say Hickman County ball. And Cam, this man Noah Porter, he is not afraid to pull up from deep. Even with his size, he has been a very effective shooter, and that was a rare miss for the big man, even though it looked to be online.
Yeah, Josh, I was watching him warm up. He shot it well from deep in warm-ups. I'm expecting him to be a factor out there. He's played the perimeter pretty much the whole time.
And the referees changed the decision. It was Camden ball after all. Moore tries a shot, no good. Picked up by Elisha. Under a minute and a half to play. Goes downtown to McDonald. Nice pump step in the corner. Buries the three. Will McDonald on fire here early. Give the assist to Elisha Puckett. Nice move by Will to fake out his defender to set up the open look. 17-5, Bulldogs lead. Johnson from three, no good. The ball's loose, and he corrals the rebound near midcourt. So Johnson picks up his own rebound, gives over to Reynoldson. Under 60 seconds to play in the first quarter. Reynoldson drives, gives out to the corner. Arnold now over to Johnson, who dribbles in, looking for help, and it sails over his man Arnold, and it will be Hickman basketball.
And Josh, Hickman County is really undersized with Kylan Seal in, but they have been just absolutely everywhere defensively, which has definitely made up for it. Camden has not been comfortable with the ball their entire time
Qualls bounce pass looking for Seal. Threaded the needle there, but Seal just not ready. And it sails out of bounds.
I mean, that was a magnificent pass there by Dylan. Great heads-up play. Kylan has got to be ready for that. When you're on the baseline, you have always got to be ready for the ball.
Goes Johnson slowly up the floor. Less than 30 seconds to play in the first quarter as they look to trim into this deficit before the quarter expires. Johnson gives to Porter. Porter back to Johnson. 15 seconds. Blystad up top guarding the ball handler. Porter sets a screen. Johnson drives. Deep two. Gets it to fall with 4 seconds. Down the floor. 3 seconds. Puckett puts it up half court. No good. And that brings us to the end of the first. Your score, Hickman County 17, Camden 7. So Cam, a marvelous first quarter there by the Bulldogs. May not have played perfect, but good enough to have a 10-point lead.
Right, Josh, but you know, in a game like this Camden team is liable to go on a run. You have to be ready for that run when it happens. It's a basketball game. It's going to come your way. So when you are preparing for this run, you cannot take a break at all defensively, right? There has to be we are playing at 110 miles an hour, but controlled. Great job in the first quarter of doing that. Incredible job of that. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to replicate it.
And before we begin second quarter basketball, thank you to our sponsors, Ascension St. Thomas, MLEC, Advocate Auto Body, Pizza Hut, Liberty Pharmacy, and the McDonald Funeral Home. This broadcast on WNKX would not be possible without them or without you listening in from the comfort of your own homes as we are on the road tonight in Camden Central High School. Of course, Benton County, not a very close drive by any means, but it's always worth it to make the trip to see some Hickman County basketball. Of course, this broadcast audio only tonight, so we appreciate your listening ears, and we look to be back with our camera as soon as possible. So Hickman starts off the quarter with possession. McDonald finds Blystad, gives over to Puckett, left elbow, back to McDonald, dribbles in, free throw stripe, looking for help, gets it to Blystad at the wing. Blystad dribbles in, kicks out Puckett, pump fake, dribble in. Nice pass to Seal, off the glass, no good. Put back, no good. And the rebound is picked up by Jake Barker, who's checked into the game for the Lions.
And Josh, we got to finish off those easy layups inside right there. Colin Seal missed 2. That's going to bite us.
Porter, corner 3, well short. Puckett may have got a hand on it, and Qualls driving down the floor. Qualls met by Barker, gives over Puckett, quick swing, McDonald. Drives in. Tries to kick it back out to Elisha. Johnson was ready for it. The takeaway down the floor. Move, tries to kick it back. And it's turned over. And Hickman now down the right side. McDonald at the wing to Puckett. Over Porter, lays it up and in. Elisha 6 points on the day, widens the lead 19-7 as we're just over a minute into this second quarter of play.
And Josh, I love the flow of this offense right now, but we have to continue moving the ball as much as possible. We are moving the ball down the floor with passing, right? We're using dribbles only when needed. That's the best way to play offense.
Skylar Key also in the game for Camden. Reynoldson drives in, met by McDonald, kicks it out. That's Key in the corner. Swings over to Johnson, but McDonald gets a hand on it. It's a takeaway. Blystad down the floor, sets up, hands to McDonald. Hook, no good, but a foul is called, and McDonald will go to the line. So Cam, not the prettiest shot attempted by Will McDonald in his basketball career, but it's enough to net him the foul and a couple of free throw shots.
Yeah, Josh, the referee underneath the basket didn't call a foul right there. I don't know what he saw that we didn't see. Clearly the young man put his chest into Will. He didn't blow a whistle, but thankfully the one on the sideline did. So Will going to the free throw line made his first.
McDonald looking to go 2 for 2 as Hickman County has broken 20 points on the day. Make that 21 as McDonald goes 2 for 2. And Tim Puckett has subbed into the game for Will McDonald. So a pretty young group out there. You have a junior in Qualls, a junior in Tim Puckett, and a sophomore in Seal, along with the 2 seniors, Blystad and Elisha Puckett. Reynoldson drives in, bounce pass, picked up by Elisha. Elisha drives, it's a foot race, past the free throw stripe, nice move off the glass, gets it to go. 8 points for Puckett.
Yeah, and a really good job there by Elisha. Nobody made him a halt in transition there. That's something that a lot of young defenders young offensive players don't take advantage of. Keep going to the basket until they stop you.
Johnson up top tries to dribble in, met by Puckett and Blystad. Mid-range left hook shot, no good. Picked up by Kylan Seal. Hickman County on the march yet again. Qualls at the wing, drives in himself, and it's blocked by Porter. So 23-7 your score. Hickman leads, now it's a corner. Key dribbles in, tipped away by Tim Puckett, but still corralled by Jake Barker of Camden. So they'll maintain possession. Johnson looking for help. Nothing there. Still holding on, and now finds his man Key in the corner, who quickly gets it to Barker at the right wing. That's Johnson left wing, met by Blystad. Dribbles in, shot is up, no good, picked up by Seal. So under 5 minutes to play in this first half. Puckett down the right side of the floor, nice move on Johnson, kicks it to Qualls. Now Tim Puckett in the corner, no good. Seal gets a hand on it, the ball's loose, and he gets the board. To Blystad in the corner, now to Puckett. Elisha pump fake, oh my goodness. And Jacob Barker goes flying into Elisha, and the foul is called. And Cam, what a marvelous save by Kylan Seal in the corner as he is checking out for Tyler McKinnon, and Qualls checking out as well for Brody Worley.
Yeah, great job there by Kylan Seal doing the little things. That's what it's going to take when you're undersized.
McKinnon at the right elbow, gives to Tim Puckett at the right wing. Out of the corner, Elisha pulls up from three, no good. Rebounded by Barker. That was Key, rather, on the rebound. Sounds Arnold up top, met by Blystad. Dribbles right, passes over to Key. Key up to Isaac Moore, who's back in the game for Camden. Porter, deep three, no good from the left wing. Rebounded by the newly entered Brody Worley. Worley down the left side of the floor, met by Moore. Nice spin by Worley, and gives over to Puckett on the right side of the floor. Now at the wing, 4 minutes left to play in the half. Puckett guarded by Barker. Feeds over to Tim. Now back to Elisha, over to Blystad at the right wing. Dribbles around, tough pass to McKinnon, picks it out, Puckett. Step back three, splash down for Elisha. And a timeout is called by Camden. And Cam, we knew it was a matter of time before Elisha found that first three-pointer of the ball game.
Yeah, Josh, Elisha so patient all night, taking what Camden is giving him. He realizes, Elisha can usually play over the top of a lot of guys, right? He can kind of play in the air. Against a team like this, when you go in amongst the trees, you can't really play in the air as much as the. Shout out the Camden band. They've been pretty awesome. I mean, they're playing some classics. I'm sorry, I know it's on a rant, but they've been really good. A little Star Wars here for us.
Yeah, the last few road games we've had, there has been some pretty awesome hospitality, some pretty great environments as well. So your score right now, 26-7, Hickman in the lead by a lot here early on in this game. 3:50 to go in the first half. And Cam, a great job by Elisha as well to use the body of McKinnon, and a credit to McKinnon to open up that shot for Puckett. The screen he set was fantastic, and that shot probably doesn't happen without McKinnon's help.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. A big man looking to help out the guys. He did a great job. The most effective place to pass out of is typically the post. You can be the most productive with it. As Hickman County is now in a 1-3-1.
And they get the takeaway out of that 1-3-1 as Elisha dribbles down the floor, looking for help. Gives over to Blystad. Dribbles to his left, finds McKinnon, back to Puckett, up top near the logo. Now they'll slow it down. Tough pass, tries to find Worley. A marvelous pass, and it's knocked out of bounds by Skylar Key. Hickman County maintains possession, and Cam, there was not a very big window to fit that pass, but he does. Of course, it doesn't result in the bucket, but Hickman County keeps the ball. Elisha inbound from the baseline, finds his brother Tim. Tim to McKinnon. McKinnon to Elisha, a hand on it. Did Camden get? Doesn't matter. Elisha open look in the corner. You can't leave him open as Elisha splashes back-to-back threes. 29-7 your score. 3 minutes to play in this first half.
And Josh, if I'm Coach Dawson, I'm trying to get my guys to 40. See how high you could run up this score. Take care of business, right? This is a statement game right now.
Camden dribbles in on Worley, unable to do so. Gives over to Arnold, bounce pass, back. Morris gives back to Arnold, back to Brady Morris. Tough three, no good. And Elisha with some hops secures the rebound. Down the floor in a hurry, Worley dribbles, baseline, loses a handle, tries to get out to Blystad and does. Now back up top to Puckett. Puckett, Worley in the corner. No good, rebounded by Moore. So Camden doesn't surrender the three, even though they had a wide open look. Good the Bulldogs. Arnold dribbles in, and Worley knocks it loose, but Arnold able to secure it and get it out to his man Moore. Moore swings it quickly to Key. Key back to Moore. Moore dribbles in, loses a handle, and Worley knocks it loose, and it's picked up by Key and throws it right to Blystad. It's a turnover to Puckett. Worley in the corner, back to Puckett. At the left wing. Goes across the way to his brother Tim at the right wing. Now to McKinnon. Free throw stripe. Jump stop off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Key.
And I like that take right there by Tyler McKinnon. We haven't seen a shot from him tonight. Their big man's out of the game. Might as well try to take advantage.
And a pass finds Arnold. The corner attempt by Morris finds home. So Camden, with 90 seconds to go in the first half, has broken double digits. 29-10. Dogs lead by 19. Puckett brings it up the floor. Tim, that is, who finds McKinnon. McKinnon to Elisha in the corner. Goes across the way to Blystad. Blystad dribbles in, now has to dribble out. Tough defense played by Angelo Arnold, who knocks it out of bounds. And McDonald, Qualls, and Brown checking into the game for Worley, Blystad, and Tim Puckett. 1:15 left in this first half of play. And a reminder, at the half, we should be joined by Coach Gavin Gordon of the Hickman County Lady Dogs. We get his feedback on the tough loss they suffered earlier tonight. McDonald at the right wing. Finds McKinnon right elbow. Tough pass to Qualls, and it's knocked away by Isaac Moore. So nice defensive play counters the nice offensive attempt on the Qualls back cut.
Yeah, Josh, and that's something I would focus on. I know Dylan got blocked right there, but finding a space for someone to run baseline and get some open shots.
Now Elisha in the corner, dribbles in, mid-range, floats it to McKinnon, goes off the glass, no good, and Cam some infighting there, a Bulldog civil war as McKinnon and Qualls fight for the ball, and it results in a turnover. Can't secure the rebound. That's Morris in the corner, met by Qualls, dishes up top to Barker. Now Barker swings to Arnold. 40 seconds to play in the first half. Johnson drives in on Puckett, dribbles back out. Now swings it to Arnold, one hand snag. McDonald there to greet him. McDonald gets a hand on it, and it sails towards the Hickman County cheerleaders. We'll watch out over there. No one harmed, but it will be Camden ball.
And Josh, if I'm Hickman County right now, I really want to try to force Camden to. Are we still on?
All right, sorry. Our monitor was pulled down, folks. We apologize for the abrupt pause in the action, but we are back. Your score 32-10. Hickman County leads. So, Kane, let's see if we can get our bearings about us right there. Of course, it's a danger of being set up on a stage, people walking back and forth. So here we go, 3 seconds in the half. McDonald finds McKinnon off the glass, gets it to go with the buzzer. So what a way to finish. Hickman County up by 24, 34-10. Your score as we go to the half. And Cam, what made that first half so dominant for the Bulldogs?
A dedication to knowing your position on defense. At all times, all 5 guys are playing defense. That's something that I haven't seen literally all year. We've had a couple blowout wins, but not all 5 guys are playing defense at one time. Tonight, all 5 guys for the entire half committed to defense, and that's the result we got.
Absolutely, Cam. So we look forward to second half basketball. We look forward to more Hickman County Bulldog dominance. Of course, second half begins in less than 10 minutes. Here in a few moments, we will hear from Coach Gavin Gordon. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to WNKX, our halftime show. We are joined, as always, during the halftime of the boys' games by the head coach of the Lady Dogs, Coach Gavin Gordon. Now, Coach, of course, a tough loss here tonight on the road. And what we saw in this game that we're not used to seeing, it was a very low-scoring affair. So what attributed to that being the case?
I think we just didn't move the ball very well on offense against the zone. I think we got stagnant. There wasn't a ton of foul calls. We didn't get to the free throw line at all tonight, which is the first time in my career that's ever happened. But we just have to adjust. The refs weren't calling fouls, so we need to be more aggressive and score just getting downhill. But that was kind of it tonight. We just were stagnant.
Now, Coach, with that lack of scoring, there wasn't a lot of momentum for y'all. How tough is it for you as a coach when there's not a lot of momentum, honestly, either way? How do you coach through that?
Yeah, just got to trust in the girls and hope that they're going to stay poised in that moment and we're going to move the ball. I think we got a little bit rattled at times just because they weren't calling fouls, but we just have to adjust. Like I said, I don't think we did a good job adjusting tonight to that, and we got kind of down. We didn't have a great practice yesterday, so just got to look to bounce back and move forward.
And the lack of calls tonight was something that I did notice. It was a very physical game all night long, kind of out of the ordinary physical. Speak to your coaching adjustment, what you tell the players, how you encourage them and keep them going through that.
Yeah, I just said if they weren't going to call fouls, we needed to be more aggressive. And I think we showed that at times in spurts, and then other times we kind of backed away. We just had a lot of mental lapses tonight, but we do have to adjust to that. Now it kind of goes in Camden's favor. They're a little bit bigger than us, so they can body us a little bit. I feel like we were missing some hand check calls we normally get, especially with Ava and Chloe getting downhill. And it's just one of those things. I mean, just got to let it go, like I said, move forward and try to get better for Friday.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach, for joining us on this halftime presentation. Of course, a big game on Friday against district opponent Harpeth. Of course, you have a chance to beat them for the second time in 7 days. Of course, I'm sure that's the focus for you all. But once again, thank you for joining us. And, folks, we're going to take a brief intermission. Second half basketball coming your way in about 6 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. and we are just about ready to be underway with second half basketball here on WNKX. Your Bulldogs lead 34-10 over the Camden Central Lions. And Cam, a first half that we saw was dominated by Elisha Puckett and Will McDonald. Puckett with 14, McDonald with 13. And Cam, the last few games we're used to McDonald finishing with around 13 points, but 13 in one half is probably the most he's had in one half in a while. So I'm looking forward to seeing him continue that as Camden begins the second half with the ball.
Yeah, Josh, but even more so, the defense to me was incredible. Elisha and Will defensively were amazing.
And a foul is called early. They'll get number 1, Dylan Qualls. And that will send number 12, Jake Reynolds, into the line. He misses free throw number 1.
Josh, I admit that I was wrong. The hair of the big man on the other team is named Noah Porter. His hair made him look bigger. Tyler and him are the same size.
So 34-11 now after the free throw. McDonald goes over to Brown. Brown back to McDonald. McDonald dribbles in, looking for help. Hook pass over to Brown at the left wing. Looking for help and goes back to McDonald. Will kicks to Qualls, the left wing. Now Puckett in the corner, met by Moore. And Brown to McKinnon. McKinnon back to Puckett, wide open look. And you can't do that. You cannot leave Elisha Puckett wide open because he'll make you pay for it. Case in point right there, 37-11, and Puckett swats it out of bounds to prevent the pass.
Yeah, Josh, and if I'm Hickman County on defense, I'm going to see how fast I can go. Make them make so many mistakes, just force them into everything uncomfortable.
Porter from 3, splashes it. So Cam, the 6'6 senior from Camden, he'd missed his last couple of attempts after making the first few. So hopefully for Hickman, that's not him getting back in a groove. As Puckett pulls up from 3, answers it right back.
And a beautiful play there drawn up by Coach Dawson. He had a guy set a screen on the outside man on the 2-3 zone. The bottom guy got Puckett a wide open shot.
Reynoldson drives in, looking, nobody in the corner. And it'll be Hickman County ball. So a bit of miscommunication there by the Lions. So Elisha's 3 essentially negated the 3 made by Porter. Makes your score 40-14, Bulldogs lead. Puckett, left side of the floor. Gives to Brown at the right wing. Tries to find McKinnon at the high post, but it's taken away by Arnold. Camden down the floor. Brown knocks it loose, gets the turnover. Brown to Qualls. Qualls tries for the jam over Porter. Couldn't get it to go as it misses wildly. And Qualls gets a turnover though. Brown down the floor. Qualls, airlines, take flight, slam it down, Dylan Qualls. He makes the wrong right, and he makes it 42-14.
I'm real glad he got one because a missed dunk is a tough thing to live with it. Dealing with a little redemption there.
Of course, it's easier to make a dunk when there's no one contesting you as opposed to a 6'6 beast in the paint. So Camden trying to answer back. Porter pulls up again, a deep 3, no good. Qualls secures the board. Down the floor, tough bounce pass that leads Brown into the paint, off the glass, and Braden Brown gets a tough 2.
Yeah, a great job there by Braden Brown to catch in his stride, and a tough full-court bounce pass there by Dylan Qualls.
So 44-14, Hickman County picking up right where they left off. It's Johnson up top, finds Reynolds in high post. Dribbles in, over McKinnon off the glass, he got it.
Josh, that was a tough finish with 3 Bulldogs trying to get to that shot.
And McDonald with a little bit of action of his own. Not quite a dunk, but he lays it up and in to make it 46-16. So whatever Camden does, it seems like Hickman has done a great job of answering it right back.
Yeah, Josh, but the fact that Camden keeps answering, we're even right now. We got to step up and be big right here.
And Porter goes over McKinnon, gets the tough mid-range bucket. But Hickman down the floor, McDonald behind the back. Tough move, hands to McKinnon, and McKinnon floats it, can't get it. Rebounded by Qualls back up top. Dylan loses the handle of it, mid-range jumper. Doesn't fall, but it's tipped up and in by McKinnon.
A great job there by Tyler to take advantage of no box out, allowing the big man to get inside.
So Hickman at 48 to Camden's 18. A three by Arnold off the mark. Picked up by Porter. Porter goes up through Puckett. No good, but a foul is called on number 12, Elisha Puckett. And Cam Elisha fell hard right there. Of course, McKinnon picking him up, making sure he's all right. He seems to be okay. But Porter is now at the line for Camden. They trail by 30. Porter sinks number one. 48-19 now. Porter goes 2 for 2 at the line. Makes it 48-20. Camden still trails by a lot, and Olton King is checking in for Camden. Subbing out is Angelo Arnold. 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Puckett to Brown. Now Brown back to Puckett. Tries to find McDonald on the baseline. Nice behind the back pass to Qualls, saving it. And checks it over to McDonald. Dribbling around in the paint, loses the handle of it, but regains it. Now Elisha drives in, kicks it. Brown quickly to Qualls. Now to McKinnon, lays it up and in over two Lions and gets the and one.
I mean, Josh, tell me you didn't just love watching that. I mean, that looked like prime San Antonio Spurs basketball right there. Sharing here and there and everywhere. It was incredible offense. If we can replicate that, we can go places, Josh.
And McKinnon gets the free throw and caps off the three-point play, 51-20. That's Johnson, right side of the floor. Looking for help and finds his man who just checked in. It's King to Reynoldson. The corner. Three attempt by Barker, no good. Brown, it's a foot race. And they'll say it goes out on Braden Brown. So Camden will keep it. Camden wearing the white unis tonight. Black lettering, yellow outline. Hickman wearing the grays. White numbers and red outline. A three-point attempted by Johnson, no good. And Elisha, nice save. And Qualls. Great communication there by Qualls. He called Elisha, let him know he was there to help as Elisha was falling out of bounds. And that's just the power of teamwork that we've seen Hickman County use countless times this season.
Yeah, great job there by Elisha to recover and to know where his guys are. Great job by Dylan to continue to be in position to help him find an outlet there.
And a timeout is called by Coach Dawson, looking to talk things over. And Cam, if you're Coach Dawson, if you're up 51-20, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, what do you say to your guys? How do you stay focused even when you're leading by this much?
Tell them it's not enough, right? I mean, watching Coach Dawson right now, when you are coaching this is a team that is a very happy, bubbly, like have fun team, right? And you know that they can get a little out of control. When you are Coach Dawson, you have to continue to coach to the utmost, right? You have to, guys, this is not enough. We need more turnovers. We need more buckets. We need to be cleaner. We need to have no turnovers. We need to get them to turn it over, right? You just try to get more and more out of them. See how much you can bring out of them.
And Qualls inbounds to Brown. Brown up the floor. Crossing the midcourt line. Brown to McKinnon, high post, back to Brown. Now Brown drives left-handed, looking for a space to drive, can't find it, gives it out to Puckett at the right wing. Puckett hesitates, drives in, kicks it out, Brown. Quickly to Qualls. Qualls pump fakes a three, drives, baseline, tries to jam it, but he's fouled by Moore. So Cam, we have definitely seen the aggressive side of Dylan Qualls this quarter.
Yeah, Josh, and it's a good thing to see. I want to see him continue to be aggressive. You know, if you have the ability to dunk everything, why wouldn't you try?
I know if I could, I certainly would. And Qualls misses free throw number one. And And Qualls can't get number 2 to fall. 2 unfortunate bounces there by Qualls. The rim did him no favors, so our score stays at 51-20, so the foul by Moore doesn't come back to bite the Lions. That's Barker, right wing, dishes to the corner. It's Johnson, mid-range over McKinnon, but he can't get over McKinnon. Down to McDonald, it's a breakaway. And McDonald throws down the dunk. And Ken, you mentioned the word fun, and that's what these Bulldogs are having right now, and that's what Coach Dawson told us the last time we interviewed him. He said the mantra for this team is play hard and have fun, and it certainly has been working as Reynoldsson tries to drive on McKinnon, step through, loses a handle of it, and they'll say it goes out of bounds on Hickman County. Generous call there. Looks like Braden Folks and Brody Worley checking in for Will McDonald and Tyler McKinnon as the young Bucks.
Josh,
more reps.
If basketball isn't fun, you know, you got to ask yourself, why am I playing it? But also at the same time, if you don't take it serious, then there's no point in playing it, right? So it is a sense of serious fun where they're locked in when they need to be, but when something good happens, celebrate it and move to the next thing.
Barker drives, shot over Puckett, not close, rebounded by Worley. Now Brown down the right side gives to Puckett. Step back. Corner 3, splash! Elisha Puckett. He has made 3 shots in this second half. All 3 have been from beyond the three-point arc. Johnson tries to drive in, met by Qualls, has to give it back out. Barker now to Moore, who tries to drive on Puckett. Braden Folks there to help. Johnson pump fakes, tries to drive, screen set by Reynoldsson, now the corner. Moore now to the wing. Driving is Barker, looking for help, gives to the right wing. It's King. King gives open shot, and Moore knocks down the 3. Make your score 56-23. Just over 60 seconds to play in the third quarter. Brody Worley pulls up open 3, splash, nothing but net for Brody Worley.
And a great job by Brody, taking his time. He caught it a little out of stride, grabbed it, took a little dribble, catch himself, knocked it down. Great job there.
The Bulldogs have staken their claim on three-point land here tonight. It has been an absolute offensive clinic. Moore tries to drive on Folks, and Puckett knocks it loose, but Moore's still able to complete the shot motion, and he'll be fouled even if the layup doesn't fall. He'll still get a chance to shoot a couple free throws with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. Moore at the line. Free throw 1 is up, no good, too short. Kicks off the front of the rim. And Charlie Blystad checking back into the game. Elisha Puckett getting a reprieve. And Puckett receiving a standing O from a handful of Bulldog faithful. Moore's second free throw doesn't fall. And it's a loose ball picked up. Barker goes up off the glass, gets it to fall. So it's the same as if both of those free throws fell. 59-25, Braden Brown up the floor. Crossing over the logo. 20 seconds remaining in the third. Brown gives over to Qualls. Brown at the left wing, guarded by King. Now Brown tries to dribble and drive, looking for help. Has to get back out to Qualls. Qualls pulls up from 3, no good. As the quarter ends, Braden Folks tried a last-second putback, but it was too late. It didn't fall anyway. So a nice attempt by Qualls, but that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Your score, Hickman County 59, Camden 25, and what is sure to be a Hickman County victory. But 8 minutes remain. And before we resume, we have a break in the action. I want to give another thank you to our sponsors. Ascension St. Thomas, MLEC, Advocate Auto Body, Pizza Hut, Liberty Pharmacy, and the McDonald Funeral Home. A very special thank you to these special organizations. This broadcast would not be possible without them. And thank you for all of you tuning in via YouTube here tonight to our audio-only broadcast. Of course, I know nothing quite beats the camera cam, but we're trying our very best to keep up with the action with our voices to keep it as colorful as possible.
Yeah, Josh, I'm going to start petitioning, these schools that don't allow us to video the game. I'm going to ask if we could video us. I've got a couple of requests that said they wish that we could almost like stream ourselves as well, pull a little jinxie, if you will, if you get that reference. We should start seeing if we can do that so they can get some real action, the good-looking ones, on the other side of the camera, you know?
Now, I appreciate you referencing a streamer, Cam, but I would just simply say like a televised broadcast because they're featured on television every now and then. But I like you going in your bag there. I'm sure you're trying to appeal to the younger audience.
Yeah, we're youthful here. My knees aren't, but I am.
I felt that. I'm 22, going on 75. And we are underway here with fourth quarter basketball, 59-25. Hickman leads. Taylor Hutchison in the game now, along with Tim Puckett, Charlie Blystad, Braden Folks, and Brody Worley. So Blystad gives to Tim up top. Nice pass to Hutchison, who goes out to Blystad, pump fakes, dribbles in, gives out to Tim. Tim drives, looking for help, gives to Hutchison, mid-range, and nothing but net. A fluent shot there. Nets Taylor Hutchison his first bucket of the game.
And Josh, Taylor has been very impressive in the JV games we've got to witness the ends of. And right there, just knocking down the opportunity they gave him.
Barker tries to drive over Worley, won't get it to fall, picked up by Folks. Folks hands to Blystad. Down the right side of the floor, goes coast to coast. Wide open three, no good, too strong. Rebounded by Barker. Now it's King with the ball, hands off to Barker, met by Folks at the left wing. Kicks it back out. It's King, hands off. Three-point attempt by Morris, won't go, bounces high. Elevating over the backboard, and Hutchison gets the rebound. Hutchison dribbles in, left wing, looking for help. Gives to Worley. Worley pump fakes Blystad, left wing. Hutchison, top of the key, gives to Puckett. Quick touch pass to Blystad from three, no good. Hutchison, rebound sails over his head, and now Camden driving. It's Morris, hands off. Three attempted by Key, won't go. But a nice putback attempt by Reynoldson, but it also won't go. And a jump ball is forced. Hutchison and Puckett doing battle with Jake Barker. The possession arrow will favor Camden, so the Lions maintain possession as they trail 25-61. And Cam, for our listeners at home, we should make note that the mercy clock was rolling as we're now at 6 minutes to play. It does stop with the timeout on the floor.
And it was, seeing these young guys come in, they have done a great job. So in the JV game we got to watch at the end, they didn't look great against the zone that Camden was playing. They've come out right here, and not all the guys on the floor are JV guys, but they've come in and they have handled this zone very, very well. Defensively, they have been everywhere that the ball has gone. They have not missed a beat. I've been impressed so far with these young guys. Now, one thing that they do need to do is be a little more disciplined on defense. If you're going to go for a steal, go for it. Don't just kind of sort of go for it, you know what I mean? So that would be the only thing I have so far. Same thing for block.
And after the timeout, Barker inbounds it. Back court to King. King dribbles in, gives to Reynoldson. Reynoldson drives, spin move, gives. That's King from three, no good. Rebounded by Key. Key back to King. King hands off to Barker. Met by Worley. Gives off to Reynoldson, who tries to drive in. Spin move on Worley. Pump fakes the mid-range. Tries to power step through. Doesn't. Kicks it out to King. Pump fake on Folks. Drives in baseline. Spin move up. No good. It's a scrap for the ball. Blystad. And King forced the jump ball. Now, of course, the second jump ball in the span of 60 seconds, this time goes the way of Hickman.
Now, Josh, Hickman County has got a lot of jump balls tonight. And that just comes from seizing every opportunity that Camden isn't locked in. Thankfully, there's been a large number of those, so really been capitalizing on that.
Worley swings to Puckett to Blystad. Bounce pass Folks. Tough pass to Hutchison. It is denied, but it goes back to Blystad. And Worley thought about a three, but dribbles in, kicks it. Tim Puckett gives to Blystad, left side of the floor, and the ball flies out of the hands of Blystad. My goodness, that scraped the ceiling almost. And it will stay with Hickman as it was swatted out of the hands of Chuck Nasty. Reynoldson is subbed out for the Camden boys. Into the game, number 15, Isaiah Goodwin. Puckett in the corner, gives to Blystad. All the way to Hutchison at the left wing. Worley in the corner, pump fakes, dribbles back. And back to Blystad. So just over 4 minutes to play here. Your score 61-25. Now Hutchison, right elbow, gives back out to Tim. Quickly, Folks from three. And it won't fall. Hutchison tries for the putback, and he's fouled and will go to the line. Cam, you could just see the Hickman County faithful, the Hickman County bench wanted that three to fall for the homecoming king.
Yeah, Josh, you know, Braden's got a couple of good looks so far. You got to tell the young man, just keep letting it fly, brother.
Hutchison at the stripe. Free throw number one rattles in and out as Atticus Lane and Dane Gilbert check in for the Dogs. Tim Puckett and Charlie Blystad will be taking their lead. So the clock continues to roll now, even with Hutchison at the free throw line, given the deficit that the Lions face here at the hands of Hickman County. Hutchison, free throw number two is up, and it's good. King up the floor, gives over to Barker. Barker drives, loses a handle on it, but regains it, tries to go up, and he's fouled. Waiting to see who the official signals as the guilty party. And it will be Braden Folks. So Barker at the stripe. Clock ticks down under 2:40 to play.
And
Barker
Josh,
makes number one.
what position did Braden play in football?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Did he play on the defensive side?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I was just curious. He covers a guy like a corner. It's very interesting. I really enjoy watching it. But it's just fun to watch. I was just intrigued.
And Worley pulls up from deep, splashes the three. So Worley's second three of the half. But now, Cam, don't quote me on that. I could be mistaken. I'm sure a man as talented as Folks on the football field would be playing both sides of the field. But I knew him primarily as a wide receiver, as Goodwin goes up for two for Camden. So that makes the score 65-28, under 2 minutes to play, 149 and counting. Worley floats it lane. Worley wanted to pull up again, but doesn't. Dane Gilbert from three. No good off the back of the rim, but Worley gets the board, drives, gives to Folks off the hands, but he secures it and dribbles it back. Dane in the left corner now, gives to Hutchison, left wing. Now up top to Lane, lose the handle. Worley setting up, under a minute and a half to play, gives over to Hutchison. Tough bounce pass to Lane, who gives it out. Open Worley from three. Another one. Oh, the junior is on fire. And Cam, of course, a lot of people like to write off these points in the game as being quote-unquote garbage time. But if you don't think Coach Dawson isn't paying attention, I don't know what to tell you, because he is seeing how Brody Worley is shooting right now. I don't care who's on you, whether it's varsity guys, JV guys. It is never easy to shoot a basketball from beyond the three-point line, and Worley is exceeding at that. Driving as King, no good, and a foul is called on Hickman County. They'll get Hutchison there for the foul.
Josh, I thought Dane just got a block. I thought it was clean. Oh, I was about to get so hyped.
Free throw number one by King is no good. 30 seconds and counting left in this game as Hickman leads by 40. And the rebound secured by Worley, but knocked loose. It's on the floor, but Brody gets it back down the floor. Dribbles, kicks it to Dane, mid-range. No good, too strong. Picked up by Worley. Step back, three. No good. And Lane tries to save it and does. But unfortunately, it goes back to a Camden player. 5 seconds left. Driving in is Morris. Puts it up mid-range, won't go. Hutchison secures the board and thus secures the game. And the Hickman County Bulldogs go on the road to Benton County and topple the Camden Central Lions by a 40-point margin, 68-28.
Yeah, Josh, a really good win tonight by the Dogs. An all-around good performance. What really stepped up for me tonight was defensively. They made a real commitment not only to playing solid defense, but to playing all-out defense. I love where the vibes are at right now if I'm the Hickman County Bulldogs. Now, the vibes can leave, but if they bring the same mindset every game, Josh, I don't know many teams that can stand in the way of that. Mentally, they were so locked in tonight. It was so impressive to watch them come in here and take care of business. Celebrate tonight, forget it tomorrow at practice, right? You can talk about it tonight, you can talk about it tomorrow at school. When it hits that last period of the day and you go down to that basketball locker room, it's the next game, right? Job's not done, you got to keep going. So that's where they move on from here.
Yeah, absolutely, Cam. And what you have on Friday, of course, another road trip for Hickman County, heading down to Harpeth to face off against the Indians in what will be another district game. But Cam, you know Hickman County will be entering that game with confidence at an all-time high. Of course, they improved their winning streak from 4 games to 5 games here tonight. They just defeated Harpeth this last Saturday by a pretty decent margin. So if they can go in, take care of business, of course, tonight they improved to 14-7, still 3-0 in the district. Cam, they could find themselves 15-7, 4-0 in the district if they take care of business on Friday, but you can't allow the cart to get ahead of the horse. You have to lock in for these days of practice, make sure they're the best reps that you're getting, to your point earlier, and I have full confidence in our Bulldogs to take care of business on Friday. But Camden entered in tonight 15-5, 2-0 in the district, and they fall 15-6 here following the defeat to the Bulldogs. And Cam, sometimes I think teams get in a habit of record watching. Right, Hickman County looks at this Camden team on paper, sees a team at 15-5, and that can be intimidating to see a team that's been winning as much as they have. But Cam, this outcome here tonight shows you why you can't always pay attention to a record. You have to pay attention to the game at hand and take care of what you can take care of, because if Hickman County plays their best basketball, they can beat just about anyone.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, you said it. It is. It doesn't matter. Who's your biggest opponent in sports? It's, in the words of Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror, right? It's your own self. And you can't beat anybody if you can't beat yourself, right? And tonight, I think early in the season they let that happen. I think Coach Dawson would echo that with me. He's mentioned it a number of times when he's came and talked to us. He's talked about, we let the refs affect us too much. We let the crowd affect us too much, right? They are now letting the game talk. And my goodness, what a game it is.
Absolutely, Cam, and that's evident by the performances we saw here tonight. Of course, Elisha with another 20-plus point performance here tonight. We expect no less. Will McDonald, who was on fire in the first half, didn't get as many points in the second, but that's to be expected considering the substitutions they had in that second half, considering the large lead they had. But McDonald finishes with 15-plus, a great performance from Will Mack, and he's a man that can be a huge difference maker going forward in the scoring department so long as he finds himself remaining confident and trusting in his shot. Brody Worley in that second half made several three-pointers, and Cam, Coach Dawson's going to remember that. And I think that shows why Coach Dawson trusts Brody not just to go on the floor and play really good defense, but now he knows when he puts Worley on the floor, he's not getting just a good defender. He's getting a really good three-point shooter as well. Braden Brown had a few buckets, including that big three he had at the beginning of the game. Now, Qualls didn't have his best offensive scoring game here tonight, but of course he did have that dunk, which can be a huge momentum boost for your teammates. It can be a rallying call of sorts, but Qualls played very solid defense. He was a great team player here tonight. Tyler McKinnon had several points, which definitely surprises me a little bit considering the matchup he had going up against a man of equal size. But Cam, McKinnon was not fazed at all by Noah Porter.
Yeah, two guys that you just mentioned that I want to talk on. First one, we'll talk about Tyler McKinnon. He met the challenge head on tonight. I've never seen somebody, I haven't seen him rebound. I'm not going to say that well, but that purposeful and that aggressive. Every ball that went up, he wanted it, and it proved to be a huge difference maker, right? I mean, every ball that was going up, he was trying to get a putback. He was trying to grab it off the rim. I mean, great job by him being just a big man doing big things. Will McDonald, right? I've mentioned who's going to be the second option. Elisha Puckett is always heavily defended. When you're a visiting team coming out, who do you in on? Elisha Puckett. Will McDonald coming out having 2 or 3 huge first halves in a row. One, completely necessary, and 2, huge for this ball team to say, hey, I know Elisha's having a hard time getting open because 4 guys are trying to play defense on him. I'll score the ball. And he's absolutely taking care of business.
And it's always so fun to watch Will McDonald when he's on fire, Cam, because there are a few better scorers on this team when he's on his A game. And I think if Will McDonald can mirror the performance he had tonight in that first half going forward, because, Cam, the old saying is not about how you start, it's how you finish. But, Cam, in the world of sports, how you start can affect how you finish. If McDonald comes out and has these kinds of first halves that gets the Dogs big leads early, that can completely crush the morale of your opponent no matter who they are.
Yeah, Josh, you know, if you step on their throat early, it's hard to recover from it, right? A good punch in the nose to water their eyes at the start of the game and then just lay it on them, that's a W every time. Great job tonight by that young man to come out, be established, be confident in himself, and take care of business.
And, Cam, what I've loved as well, in the last few games, we've actually seen the younger guys, the JV players of Hickman County, getting a lot more minutes than we're used to seeing them have. And I tell you what, a lot of those guys have been making the absolute most of it. And now, Cam, we're used to when guys go on the floor who aren't used to getting a lot of floor time, they play reckless, wild, just simply trying to make a statement. But when these guys get on the floor, they're playing controlled, they're playing disciplined, they're playing smart basketball as if they're playing in a game that's neck and neck. And I think that also brings a smile to Coach Dawson's face, knowing that not only the future is bright, but if several players go down for whatever reason via injury, foul trouble, he's got a lot of talented young men to turn to.
Yeah, Josh, and you can attribute that to Coach Dawson preparing his guys. Dane talked about it I believe it was Saturday. Dane did an interview with us as the player of the game, and he talked about just the prep that he's been putting the JV guys through, and how even Dane recognized, like, hey, we are taking strides forward in who we are. We're finding an identity as a basketball player, you know, and you really got to tip your hat to Coach Dawson and what he's done in developing these young guys, especially in the mental aspect of the game.
For sure, Cam. All the credit in the world to these talented young men that play for the Bulldogs, and of course the coaches as well, that keep them in line, that make sure they're always playing to the very best of their ability. So, folks, that will just about do it for us here tonight on WNKX. Once again, Hickman County picks up a huge win, 68-28, on the road against the Camden Central Lions. Now, the Hickman County Bulldogs will be back in action this Friday, January 31st. The girls' game will be beginning at 6 p.m. sharp, and we'll be on the road yet again to Harpeth. It will be a big district game, and we look forward to seeing you all there, and hopefully we'll have our camera back tonight so that you can see all the action with your own eyes. Now, one final time, thank you to Ascension St. Thomas, MLEC, Advocate Auto Body, Pizza Hut, Liberty Pharmacy, and the McDonald Funeral Home for sponsoring this broadcast and for sponsoring the station. This would not be possible without them. And a big thanks to all of you watching or listening at home. We're so thankful for your support of this station and helping it grow. But until we meet again, I've been Josh Copley. For my broadcast colleague Cameron Peters, we say so long and good night.